Hey there! Welcome to the show where ex-evangelicals watch and talk about TV shows and movies.
The ones we weren't allowed to watch as kids because, Satan and stuff.
I'm Donovan.
And I'm Zach, and Jesus stole our movies.
So let's find a treasure map in our dad's attic, break it, and then go find a one-eyed dude and get some treasure and get this movie back.
Raise the Titanic.
What?
Sahara.
What?
National Treasure 2, The Book of Secrets.
What?
The Golden Goose of Tir na nog.
No.
Is that Goonies?
Yeah, man. I see this is what happens when I do it an easier way. You take it and you make me feel like a dum-dum.
Can I just say that One-Eyed Willie is extremely inappropriate?
I know, that's why I tried not to say it, but you did anyway because you're gross. How you doing, buddy?
I'm alright. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm a little chipper today, trying to make some jokes and stuff and hanging out with the kids. We played hide and seek last night, and I broke my glasses, so that was cool.
I thought you were gonna say you broke one of your kids' legs.
Oh well, no, Jesus Christ! I'm
You
a
didn't
little
do shit.
I'm a little chipper today. I broke my kid's leg yesterday.
Yeah, fuck this kids.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, no, we were jumping off the balcony. I was doing some suplexes and shit. That's what I. All those backyard wrestling videos you sent me really inspired me.
Hey, those are trained professionals.
Well, we're hanging out today because we're gonna watch a movie, but it's not just me and Zach here today. We got some friends back. We got Steve and Alec from the This Fire podcast. How are you gentlemen doing?
Yo, I'm doing good.
How's it going, guys?
Gentlemen.
We're back. This is our 1 year friendiversary.
Hell
right.
yeah!
Brad.
It's a new January tradition.
Exactly. It also helps us out because Alec and I are usually so sick in January that we don't get an episode out of our own. So this helps us
Yeah.
stay relevant.
I feel that. Are you guys staying warm where you're at? Because right now we're in the middle of that crazy winter storm.
We're trying. It's too cold, and January I'm on board of saying is the worst month of the year. So this is only solidifying that.
Well, how about February though? February is usually pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
February kind of sucks.
What'd you say?
February kind of really sucks too. They're both kind of dreary.
Yeah,
What?
gets a little too cold for sure.
February you have the added the added buff of having had already gone through January is the thing. At least January you're still kind of like running on like the holiday high, whatever. By February you're just like you're done. The streets look gross and they turn to slush.
You're literally offended by the weather. You're like, how dare you still be like this?
The flanks of every road are like salt burned and brown.
Mhm.
Wow.
Like
Oh,
you'll get the occasional 60-degree day, and then all of a sudden it takes it away from you, like it's just teasing you.
Yes.
It's a misery.
It's intentional at that point.
It's like that old Geico commercial with the dude with a dollar bill on the fishing line. You got to be quicker than that. But yeah, gentlemen, what movie did you guys pick for us to watch?
Yeah, like this is one of your childhood films. Why don't you take the lead here?
We're gonna be watching the titular Power Rangers, the movie Turbo. What is it? Is Power? Did I say it wrong?
Yes.
The Tower. Oh my God.
I believe you mean Turbo, a Power Rangers movie.
Wait, no. But it's a Power Rangers movie first.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, whatever. I guess that sets this for. I guess that sets us on track for what this is gonna be
Either way,
like.
boys, it's time to shift it to Turbo.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Yes.
Bye.
Oh,
Turbo coin here.
holy shit!
Oh,
Like as you
that's
can see in the
rad.
video feed.
Hell yeah.
No.
Why is it a triangle?
Because it was
It's a hubcap.
car.
What do you mean? Because it's a car, it's a triangle. What does that mean?
No, were they all triangles? Were all of their icons triangles with a different shape? And I've only got Tommy's coin here.
Well, I think that's the symbol in the middle of the Megazord's shield too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
I mean, if you look in the middle part, it's technically a C because it's Car Ranger. This
Car
wasn't
Ranger.
Turbo Ranger because
Oh.
Turbo Ranger was in the 80s in Japan. So Car Ranger was the one that was adapted for Power Rangers Turbo
Hmm.
because they didn't
Hell
want to
yeah.
they didn't want to call it Car a Power Rangers movie. So,
I couldn't help but call this eventually a Power Rangers movie
yeah, eventually.
because it took so long to get.
Damn.
You're saying they're not Power Rangers even when they're not at work?
No.
Not if fucking Rocky can fall 4 feet and break his goddamn neck. The morphin grid doesn't do shit when you're not morphed.
He wasn't wearing his watch, all right?
Jeez.
There's a reason that my 9-year-old was only invested in the last half of this movie. He sat down after they got to the triangle thing.
Yeah.
He was like, "Okay, I'm in."
If we're jumping right into the Rocky aspect of it, is that not like the most like being written out of a wrestling storyline as like exit from a movie you've ever seen, where it's like he jumps over the top rope, oh, and he's injured, we're not going to see him for 4 more months.
I mean, so it was literally, so I saw it was an Instagram reel of him doing an interview at a con once, and it sounds like the reason he left was because he was asking for more money.
Yeah.
And you know them, they love giving their actors more money and like more respect, right? And so after like whatever negotiations didn't work out, he was like, all right, I guess I'm just done after like the break or whatever. And they said, wait, hold on. We need to write you out. Can you come in for like a day? And then that's what they did. So
Is that why he seems so angry in this movie? Is because he was calling for a day? It's like to be written out and replaced by a 10-year-old boy.
I would assume so, yes.
Well, that was a whole thing throughout all of like the original Saban run of Power Rangers. They ran Power Rangers as a non-union show.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
Poor fucking kids are working their asses off, taking bumps, doing martial arts in the middle of LA in the summertime, and fucking sweating their asses off, barely making over minimum wage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that. I think I saw that. Shit, I can't remember his name. David Yost. He was gonna come back, but then they said he would have to give up his sidecar to do it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so he was like, "No, thank you."
It's like I wasn't treated very well in the last run of this, so I'm not gonna give up my perks now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why Walter Jones and
Tweet Trang.
Oh yeah.
And what's the
Austin John.
Austin St. John.
Yeah.
They all left because they weren't getting any money at all.
Yeah.
And
So supposedly they were all gonna go at the same time. They were all gonna like go up to bat, like all 6 of them, like as like a full force there, saying, "Hey, we need more money." And then the other 3 got kind of skittish and said, "No, I don't want to rock this boat." And then they were the 3, and they got the axe in that second season.
So bogus.
So it was like, you know, like a lot of interpersonal strife there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. Austin St. John figured out how to get some money when he was involved in that scam. Did you know about that, Zach?
No, I have no idea.
He was like, he did a
God.
scam for the COVID relief, kind of like how
the
Tom
PPP
Brady
loans.
did. Yeah.
Oh no.
Like it's to be. Oh, listen, I don't want to be mean here, because whatever. But Austin St. John's, I follow him on like, I don't know, Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and it's like very much so like clearly being run by like a management firm. Like he's tried to plug his like kind of, you know, his nostalgia pop into like, you know, going to cons and doing like fan streams with Walter Jones and all this other stuff. It seems like he's got very bad management. I almost get the sense, and obviously you can never know for sure, as far as the PPP loans thing goes, like it was not necessarily him being a smart person. I mean, listen, you're trying to defraud the government for PPP loans. You're not smart to begin with, but I get the sense it was like his management team was up to some shady stuff, and he like signed it and was like, "Oh yeah, do whatever you need to do," and then that's how it all shook out or whatever, you know? Like not like he personally was writing the loans, but like he's just got like really shady management, and he's kind of maybe not the smartest guy out there based on some of the other stuff that he's posted. But, yeah.
I feel that.
So what's everybody's personal history with this movie? Where did you see it as a kid? Were you allowed? I know you guys probably were, because your shit wasn't as strict as Donovan or I. So where are we at with this movie? And you said Alex specifically is like a nostalgic.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, listen, say what you want about the season itself, but like this was my like peak Power Rangers time frame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hopping on like kind of like the between area between like Mighty Morphin and Zeo, and
Mm-hmm.
then from that point on, I forget, was this movie in theaters at
Yeah,
all?
very
Okay,
briefly.
so we almost definitely saw it in theaters then. And I just, you know, as even watching it today, like last night, I still got a soft spot for it. You know, I can laugh about it, but I just
Yeah.
like, I feel good. I feel good watching them do karate in the park, and you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
This is because yeah, like this was kind of like the handoff moment from me to you in a lot of ways. Because like, I mean, so I was 8 when Mighty Morphin Power Rangers came on. And listen, long story short, I don't mean to wax all poetic here. Like if anybody's watching the video version of this, you can see my nerdy office behind me full of Power Rangers toys. Like this was my thing. Like I loved it. I like I had a very hard second grade. Like that was the year that I was like diagnosed with ADHD. My parents didn't know what to do with that. I was on medication. I was having a hard time making friends.
he broke his
I
arm.
broke my arm. I got my tonsils out. It was a lot. But by the end of that summer, like Power Rangers came on, and like it was just so positive and so fun.
And then Alec graced his life.
Oh yeah,
And
I also had to deal with the fact that there was a new kid in that family. But you know, but it was so it was like, you know, so I hung on to something like Power Rangers for like dear life almost. It was just like, oh, here's this thing I really like. I can get home from school, I can get through the day, and I'm gonna watch this. And like, you know, it was like it kind of meant more to me than, you know, a normal just hey, something I'm watching because I'm a kid kind of thing.
Yeah.
But by the time this movie came out, I was 12 and you know, had a Nintendo 64. So I was like, all right, well, you know, like I actually sent this clip to Zach, Donovan. I don't know if you got that in the feed, but like there was an interview with the kid that plays Justin on Regis and Kathy Lee. And I did a quick search for this because in prep for this episode, because I vaguely remembered watching this way back in the day. And I think I can pinpoint that as the moment I got off the train where I'm like, so there's a Power Ranger that's younger than me now. This doesn't seem like something I want to watch.
So my experience with that dude was not the best. I didn't like that kid when I was a kid. I don't know if it was because I was jealous of him. I mean, I knew I was, but like, I don't know. He just always irked me, man. He just never seemed to appreciate that he was a fucking Power Ranger the right way. I was like, come on, bro. Be a little bit happier about this.
Okay. I have a theory about this, though, for real, though. Okay, you have all these Power Rangers, right? And we'll get into it, but they're like, I mean, like they're 25-year-olds that are pretending to be 16. They're they are in like peak physical condition. They all seem really cool. They all get along together. Everybody's really hot. And
dope hair.
And then and then you have a kid. And it's like, that's not aspirational. You know, like if Peter Parker was a 10-year-old, you're not going to look up to it and be like, I can be Spider-Man someday. Like as a 12-year-old, right? You're going to feel like it's passed you by already. And so like your point, Donovan, like, yeah, it's like a little bit of jealousy probably because it's like, okay, well, all right, F me then, right? Like,
yeah, right.
I guess I'm over the hill now if they got this 10-year-old here and I'm like 11 or 12. So, I think the psychology switches. It's
which is ironic because I think the psychology they're going for is, hey, this is your avatar character to be, but it's like,
totally.
No, I don't want to see that. That's like
it doesn't work. You want to feel like there's runway ahead of you that in a few years when you hit high school, you could be a Power Ranger. But like when the Power Ranger's already in like 4th grade, you're like, oh, well, I guess I can't do that no more.
Right. It also doesn't help that he's just not very likable.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I remember watching it when I was around his age when I watched this, and I remember thinking like, not to be a dick, but I would have been a better Power Ranger. You know what I mean? And I just remember thinking that and being like, I loved Beetleborgs because they did it the right way.
Yeah.
Oh, Beetleborgs is great.
Yeah, you're not wrong because those kids were younger and like that felt pretty okay.
Yeah, and you're like, I can relate to those kids. They're not shits.
I do wonder if there's like a weird like hamstringing to be like, well, they need somebody that's good at karate or some kind of martial art, right? So
Yeah.
they kind of have to like boil everything down to, okay, well, who can do these stunts rather
yeah.
than just like
You saw him on
an
Regis and
actor,
Kathy Lee.
Right. Well,
he was a top tier martial artist.
he's a
showing
black
Regis
belt.
the-
But you know what I mean, where it's like, as opposed to just hiring an actor who can do the role,
Yeah.
they feel like they needed to like find somebody that could like, oh, do the whatever. And, you know, they ended up with him. No offense to him. I'm sure he's a perfectly nice guy.
Listen,
But-
from what I hear, like on the convention scene, my understanding is that he kind of tries to big time people. and stuff.
Oh.
It's like-
Oh no.
so, yeah, I
Dude,
don't
you were
know.
Justin.
You know
Chill
who I
out.
was?
You were left on Earth because they didn't watch you.
No, he wanted to stay with his dad.
Uh-huh.
He's a family man.
Okay.
So, well, that's a thing about Power Rangers that it always bothers me, and I get into it in the script as well. It's like it's never treated with any actual gravity as a science fiction concept, right? We have this wonderful idea that this child could have no skills, he
Mhm.
could have no ability with martial arts, he could have obviously he cannot drive a car, but what actual amount of agency does the Morphin Grid really provide you when you become a Power Ranger? And what would that access to that power do to him?
Yeah.
You know, like if we treated it like a real science fiction concept, you could have this kid that is terrified and completely vulnerable and useless in all these combat scenarios with these kids who have all this experience fighting these monsters. And then once he transforms into a ranger, he has agency, but like it kind of goes to his head, you know. How does he get addicted to the feeling of being a Power Ranger? Like, what access does he have? Like, does the Morphin Grid give you access to the Akashic Record, and like you can just download different combat styles? Like, where are we as science fiction concepts? Because there are some parts in this movie that would have been very, very interesting if you actually explored them like an episode of Star Trek.
Yeah. Well, to your point about the Akashic Record thing, it's like, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's missing that Matrix I know kung fu moment of like, man, this is crazy. How do I have these powers? It's just he's there, and it's like, you know, he's hanging out on a boat with the Power Rangers for about 45 minutes. And
that's the thing, right? Is that like even when they get into danger, with the exception of when they actually morph, like the entire boat scene, you know, he has some stuff, but like you see them like corralling him like they're protecting him the entire time. It's like, well, why is he even there? Like just to fill out the spot?
Cat needed a son figure in this movie. They figured that they needed to get a family dynamic between Tommy, Cat, and this new kid.
Like there's a precedent for having that sort of concept explored too. Like if you read a good Shazam comic, you're going to get those bits of like, is Billy like how does Billy Batson work in the world with part of him being a fully grown man? Like how does that interact when the teenage Billy Batson has relationships with the same age person as him, but like he can't separate his adult, you know, he's not professional enough to separate Captain Marvel from Billy Batson, and he talks to the girl he's dating in Captain Marvel form, and everybody gets creeped out about it. He has to get talked to. Like, what happens when, like, you know, Captain Marvel, Shazam, always has the 7 gods whispering in his ear. Like, sometimes Solomon gets to be a dickhead, and you have Billy Batson, like, literally arguing with these, like, ancient gods. And it's like, that's how you do it well.
Yeah.
Man. I love Shazam so
Rangers,
much.
It's just kick, kick, punch, punch. You know,
this is making me kind of even more sad as far as like this movie could have been something. Like,
that's what I've always said about Power Rangers. Like I know they did it. What is it, RPM? Is one of the only seasons that is actually explored with real science fiction concepts.
Yeah. And not for nothing, a lot of the stuff you're talking about has come through in the comics. Like in 2015, like Boom Comics, like kind of took control of it. It was like a very down period for the franchise, and then they started what they referred to as like dancing between the raindrops, where they didn't like contradict anything from the show, but they would fill in the gaps. So like, you know, the whole first arc was set in the first season, so it was you look at the Green Ranger saga and everybody remembers it, but obviously it's like you watch it as an adult and it's like, oh, the Green Ranger comes in, he's bad, they beat him. Oh, now he's good, and they just move on like very quickly. But the whole comic was the psychology of Tommy grappling with Rita took control of me. She could do that again. Like, how am I going to protect my new friends if I could just turn into a villain at any point, right? So there's like it does a good job of exploring kind of like the more psychological and even some of the more like you're a teen superhero, like what does that mean for you kind of thing, and how does that affect your family and all that, it even gets into like Rita being stored in the dumpster, right? And obviously in the show it's just like, oh, that's how they sealed her away, but they like explore that, and it's like basically Zordon sealed her in hell, and it was like she had to live through the entirety of the lives of everybody on every planet that she had conquered and killed. So from like childhood to adulthood, to the point where Rita shows up to kill them, she lives the whole life, feels the sorrow of losing everybody, and then reboots again and starts as the next person. Like, so it's like it did a lot more with the concept for sure. Obviously,
that's really cool.
Obviously none of that shows up on screen for any of this stuff, but but it's cool that those exist. So
yeah, the Boom comics are fucking terrific.
Yeah.
But Donovan, were you allowed to watch this movie as a kid?
I was allowed to watch it. I was allowed to watch Power Rangers in general. Well, I kind of watched them at my grandma's house. I never watched them around my parents. So I don't know if I would have gotten in trouble for it, but probably not because I watched a lot of Jackie Chan and stuff when I was a kid. So so I don't think I had any negative experiences with it, except for I remember not sorry. I remember not being a huge fan of it when I was younger because I was expecting it to be so much like the first movie. You know what I mean? And it's not very similar at all.
And not 4 episodes stapled together.
Well, so that's the weird thing about this. It's kind of like a half step down from an actual like theatrical movie where it's like, it's definitely well, they definitely they definitely have some kind of budget. They clearly go to Hawaii and like or somewhere, right? Like they have something going on, but also it's written like the show. So as opposed to it feeling like a really grandiose thing, it's more like you're going on a vacation to somewhere that's like an hour away.
Yeah.
It's different, but it's not that different.
That's a good way to put that for sure. What about you, buddy? Were you allowed to watch this?
I was not allowed to watch Power Rangers as a kid. No way.
Yeah.
It was between the violence and the Japanesiness of it. Because we've discussed in the past, for some reason, my dad was kind of like prejudiced against Japanese people and anything, Japanese cultural. And I don't know if they would have even known this stuff back in the 90s that it was, but like you could kind of tell, anytime there's a large scene of devastation or anybody running, they're all Asian. You know what I mean? It's not like they're trying to hide it that much, especially this early. They hadn't moved to New Zealand yet. They hadn't, they're still shooting in LA and just pasting the action scenes in. So, I didn't actually start really being into Power Rangers until, like my mom and dad had cable on their TV in their room. So I would run and sneak while my mom took my sister to school. And I got in on Lost Galaxy. Lost Galaxy is my favorite season, and it's rad, and Magna Defender's there, and it's just the sickest shit.
Oh, and Magna Defender's great.
Yeah, the Magna Defender's right. They're using props from Starship Troopers. It's like a whole fucking vibe. They're lost in space. I love the Lost in Space vibe. They did a little bit of science fiction stuff there, but I didn't watch the movies. I wasn't anything MMPR. So like I am of the age to be a huge MMPR like Mark, but I don't have any nostalgia for Tommy or Kimberly or any of these fucking people. But
I'm kind of surprised that there wouldn't be some cross-pollination between Christians and Power Rangers, though, because it's like the allegories right there. You have a godlike being bringing on his apostles to spread the good word, defeating evil. It's right there.
Yeah, like you and I talked about this for like our turmoil in the toy box uh episodes. This is maybe a good seg to talk about, like, Donovan and Zach, your upbringing with how it interfaced with this book that we have. Like, so Terminal in the Toy Box, a pair of books that were written in the 80s that were aimed at evangelicals, parents, and like basically it's, if your parents grew up and you were growing up and your parents were telling you couldn't play with He-Man, Dungeons and Dragons, Barbies, whatever it was, there's going to be a chapter or at least a paragraph in this book that was the basis for that, because these were like some of the core texts for this.
Was that Phil Phillips? Is that who wrote that?
Phil Phillips. He wrote so he quote unquote wrote the first one. But there's a ghostwriter that was kind of the woman behind the curtain that did all the research for it.
Of course.
So I mean, it's funny because the first Terminal in the Toy Box you can kind of really break down into two. You can tell who's writing what, because some of it is personal stories from Phil Phillips's childhood, and then all of a sudden you'll hit like a brick wall of statistics and facts about shows that are on the air, and like clearly just like cut and pasted like press releases from Toy Fair articles that would be like, and this is coming out in the summer of 1987. But like Alec and I have talked about this, like, because they have a real hard on for hating He-Man specifically. Like, He-Man really set the tone, and like there's nothing about He-Man. So my son, my 4-year-old, actually recently has gotten into He-Man. Like, he found some of the old comics like on my iPad and whatever and got into it. And and so we're watching some of this. And this is something that I didn't have any childhood nostalgia for because I was born in 1985. So kind of just after the He-Man times. But like, you're looking at it and like, there's nothing in there that couldn't be co-opted by Christianity. Like, I mean, obviously, the Chronicles of Narnia, like C.S. Lewis was a Christian professing, and so it was easy for them to do the allegory. But there's nothing in He-Man that couldn't just be Bible Man, or being oh, this is like, you just have to remember He-Man's power comes from God, and that's what the power is, right? Like, it would have been so easy. Like, there's nothing offensive in it. It's very cheesy. The bad guys are all skeletons and demons and whatever. So it's like, yeah, like, why would you not be okay with this? But it was the playing with the occult and whatever. And Power Rangers, to you guys' point, it's interesting to me because so I was listening to you guys three Ninjas episode that just came out, and I mean, you basically already hit on most of the greatest hits from Phil Phillips's Power Rangers book, right? It's the Orientalism, like the yellow panic kind of stuff. But like I feel like it just kind of comes off as a cheap knockoff of the Panic about He-Man. And so it almost doesn't shock me that like you guys are 50-50 in terms of like, your parents, Donovan, didn't kind of care about this specifically, like the Jackie Chan movies, the whatever. It didn't feel as scary as He-Man, but obviously there were some parents that still bought into the panic about it. But it felt like they were doing a greatest hits run, like at this point. Like they had, for a decade through the 80s, made parents afraid of every pop culture, every relevant kids pop culture franchise. And so by the time you hit the 90s, I almost wonder if there was a little bit of burnout because this was just more of the same. And it was, to me, it's like the bigger target that was in the sights was going to be something like Pokemon a couple years later, an anime coming in, which felt much scarier than, oh, hey, this businessman pasted some American kids into this Japanese show. Like, I feel like it was a little watered down compared to panics that came before and after, and
the text that you're specifically referring to is called "The Truth About the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers."
Yes,
correct.
Yeah.
Was there anything that stood out there that really was sensational or sounded a little bit silly?
So let's go with creepy for a couple of things, I will say. So listen, first off, calling this a book I think is very charitable because it's about 90 pages long. So this thing is more of a manifesto than anything else. But it's written in the traditional Phil Phillips style where half the book is kind of like, all right, I'm going to educate parents on what this is. And then half the book is kind of, running down the Christianese, kind of talking points. So it's also clear that potentially he hasn't actually watched any of this because he gets to a chapter where he gets to a chapter where he runs down stories from the show and other media. And then it's 4 or 5 paragraphs that are literally just synopsises of the like those like Scholastic Book Fair versions of like shows you would get or whatever, where it's like, oh, here's like here's a Power Ranger book called Putty Time or whatever, and it's technically like just like a recap of an episode with some like glossy photos in the middle. But he's got those, but it's all of the names of the books that were based on the episodes, not the actual episodes. So
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
so it's like he found some of the paperbacks and was like, well, this is what we're gonna put in there, but like not realizing, oh, this is like he's like in it's morphin time, like these teenagers come together and find power coins and blah 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 blah, and it's like that episode was called Day of the Dumpster, but he's not referring to the show, he's referring to the book he found. So
He just didn't want to watch it. He's like, I'm
whatever.
not watching
Yeah.
that filth. These books will have to
Yeah.
do.
But like and whatever, maybe that's just me being pedantic, but it's clear that like there's not a full grasp on what this thing was. It also comes out 2 years after the heat would have been there. I mean, this book came out it's copyrighted for early 1996. I don't have it in front of me, but like it's like Power Rangers was like winding down and turning into Zeo by the point that this comes out. Like it's talking about the movie in future tense, but then it's like it's really just like mixing and matching things from the first 3 seasons as if it's a coherent thing. What I will say is like there's like I said, there's stuff about it, Asian Panic, a big emphasis on the evils of karate and how it trains you to worship the dojo, specifically like putting the dojo first. Like that's what you have to do. You don't question your master, you don't question the dojo. That is rule number 1. And in a world like that, you can't put God number 1 because you've put the dojo in first place. Like,
yeah, but what if I'm questioning religious leaders?
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Any critical thinking at all, and it all just crumbles. Like, come on.
And like you even get into stuff, like I said, it's a little creepy too, because like there's a section where, and it's clear that some of this is he has to just run down the bullet points from Turmoil in the Toy Box, but apply them to Power Rangers. So there's one where it's like sexual content, and it's like, what the hell is this? And so it's like, these teenagers are all wearing outfits that show off their body and their form, and
Oh, no.
it's like, I don't want it. Like, this is not like, it's like, and like you have to remember, like, children that we as adults don't like to consider this, but they are sexual creatures too. And this is like, no. The fact that you are watching this and this is what you're taking away from this relatively chaste show is really upsetting. So like there's a whole
Jesus
page dedicated to
Christ.
that. So it's just like, so but you think about that. It's like violence, worshiping other things other than God, sexual content. It's just like he had to find something for all of the quadrants, and that's what I mean by like it came off as like a greatest hits package. It wasn't like, oh hey, I saw this really scary kids show and I really need to tell you about it. It's I applied the formula to the next thing, and I to me at least it seemed like it made sense to me why, even once I grew up and like, my friends' parents would like tell us stories about how like the Smurfs were evil or Transformers were evil. Right. Power Rangers never came up. And like, I get the sense that it was just by this point, even amongst that set, there probably was a lot of burn off and a lot of fall off in terms of like, okay, Phil Phillips, we get it. You don't like kid stuff and, whatever. Not to say that, some people didn't take it seriously, but it just felt like a reheat rather than anything that was like actually in the zeitgeist of the evangelical community so much at the time, I guess.
Kind of like he just knew it was timely and was like, "Oh, I'm good."
Exactly.
But then, like you said, it ended up being like 2 years too late. But that kind of tracks for like Christianity pop culture. You know what I mean? They always take a couple of years to latch on to what was popular.
Yeah,
every goddamn time.
Yeah, so. But again, maybe 2 years too early, because it's like, you look at the stuff that eventually would come out into Japan and stuff, and like the Pokemon panic right alongside Harry Potter becomes like a very real thing. Like, the evils of Pokemon cards and stuff. And it was just, I feel like that was so much more, that ended up being so much more fertile than Power Rangers, because it was just like, okay, here's these cartoons, we don't understand them. We heard they gave these kids a seizure in Japan. What are they doing to their kids in Japan? Like, like these kids, they just want to buy all these cards. There's an addictive aspect to it. It's a video game too. Like, it's just, I think there was a lot more for them to work with than campy show that very clearly, like any adult sits down to watch it, they might think it's stupid, but not like it's not offensive by any means. So
No. Well, anything that takes a child's attention away from God is also
yeah.
just immediately evil. Doesn't matter what like Miss Rachel, get the fuck out of here.
Mm.
But I did look up to see if there was a Christian response to this movie, and I found one that I was surprised. I visited our good friends at movieguide.org,
Mhm.
and they gave this movie a -3.
Their score goes negative.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah,
The
they.
reasons for this is excessive sex, violence, immorality, and or worldview problems. That's what they reserve -3 for, is that.
What, so what is the scale here? Like like what does this go from? Like is there like +5 to -5? Is that what we're looking at?
What was the one for Ferngully, Zach? Wasn't it like -7 or 8?
It was,
Oh,
it was,
jeez.
yeah. Ferngully was negative something extreme. I think it was around -4, -5.
Yeah.
And one of the things they took umbrage with in Ferngully was cockroaches.
Yeah.
Well,
And
It's
man,
The bug?
yes.
Yes, they're
Oh.
just finding things to be annoyed by. Honestly, like it's culture war
Well,
silliness. It doesn't make any kind of sense, and it's reductive of anybody's time or effort that they put into any of this stuff.
well, the reasons they give this a -3 are Eastern New Age worldview with occult elements, one obscenity, action violence including martial arts fight scenes, ugly slime monsters, volcano monster, and violent circumstances, sexual references regarding the mean witch Divatox marrying the volcano monster, and miscellaneous violence.
She wants to get married.
Yeah,
They should be all for that.
It's heteronormative worldview. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Come on.
She just needs to be the property of a man. The Christians should love that shit.
Yeah, I see. I figured this was going to be the turning point. I mean, this is like we're moving away from dinosaurs and like ancient mystic stuff into car culture. You know, we're shifting conservative with this. It's cars. You got a crazy pirate lady with big cleavage. You know, it's like
Oh,
this should appeal to all quadrants.
Well, I thought they would definitely take umbrage with Divatox's
Well-
outfit because she's in some revealing stuff later in the movie. You're like, oh my goodness, as a parent, I would have been like, I don't know.
Listen, we've it's one thing for them to be like, oh, like sexual content, because I don't think that there's anything overtly whatever. That being said, you could tell that the director and like the cinematographer were like, okay, let's get this close up on a butt and then like pan away from. It's like, what are you doing? Who is this
creepy,
for? Like, this is very odd.
I mean, like the little behind the scenes knowledge. This movie was directed or co-directed by Shuki Levy, who was one of like the original like Saban team. And there's some pretty grisly allegations about him that came out during Me Too from what's her name, the lady VR trooper.
Oh no,
something Brown. Yeah, like she was married to him for a period of time, and it sounds like he was not a very good man. So
well, that tracks.
Leave it at that. But yeah,
yeah, there are at least I think 4 instances of the camera like lingering on Kat's butt.
Oh
And
my
it's
god!
like, oh
right?
no, that's really inappropriate. And like we'll talk about there's one shot later where she's not the focus of the shot. She's kind of tangential what is happening, but her butt is still right there. I don't mind a butt, but like
yeah, it's just like
let the
Justin
lady
sitting
just
there. And
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right at the end, and then she leans. Like, come on, like, what are we doing here?
well, I know that the whole reason this is PG instead of G was because of the low cut neckline. That's what I read.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that jumped it to a PG. And in this little review, it says, if it were trying to reach children, it failed because of sexual innuendo and low-cut necklines, not to mention disgusting-looking creatures and a plot that involved an occult sexual union.
Yeah. But
Hey, nobody said anything about sex.
Yes, absolutely not. It was just the contract, right?
So that's what we got for that. They did not like this movie because they thought lava monsters were trying to have sex with ladies.
How would that even work? Come on. You got to use your brain. Think about it. Come on.
We don't know what anyone's rocking with in both of those situations, so it could work. We don't know. We
I mean,
don't know.
Divatox is like hiding that long tongue. I don't know. Maybe she's like got weird bug parts in her.
Well,
I
you
don't
gotta remember,
know.
Scorpina in the original show turned from like pretty Japanese lady into giant scorpion monster. Like if you make Divatox giant, maybe she turns into a giant lava monster and is fully compatible.
Well, the logic does show that any kind of villain can be blown up and turned into a giant kaiju, so maybe.
Exactly.
That was always my favorite. I was watching it with my son last night and yesterday morning, and I was like, "You know what's coming, right? You know what's coming." And then boom, giant. I was like, "There they go. They're all big and fighting."
Yeah. You
That's so
actually
sick.
get what you came to watch that fucking movie for?
Hell yeah, brother.
I come for the characters and the plot.
He
Why?
says
So
as,
you
he, as
cannot
he's
like
picturing
them?
Divatox.
I read the articles.
Check out the gams on that villain over there. Oh, shit. Has anybody seen any of Super Sentai Car Ranger to be able to understand the tone shift difference?
No, but my understanding is Car Ranger is more it's comedic, right? Like
Yeah,
because
it is a parody of the entire series.
because the previous season was O Ranger, which I have seen all of. That was the Zeo basis, and they had to shift gears, no pun intended. Like halfway through that, they had to shift into comedic because that was when the not to take this thing down, but like the Shinrikyo sarin gas attack happened on the trains in Japan, and that was such a cultural like shift that it was basically like they went from O Ranger being a more serious, grounded anniversary season about the military fighting kaiju to all of a sudden having to really like kiddie it up a whole bunch because they, wanted to give kids something more palatable at that kind of dark time for them. And then Car Ranger obviously followed up on it to kind of keep the tone light.
And I can't help wondering if some of the sparseness of the actual Ranger forms and robots and Japanese footage is because it's so hardcore played for laughs. And I wanted to watch some, but I didn't have any time because I know all that stuff is on Tubi now.
Yeah.
But because I noticed that Turbo as a Power Ranger season is a little bit light on the actual Ranger stuff in general.
Yeah.
So maybe they just couldn't square the tonal shift between the two things.
Yeah, I think that's the case. And then on top of it, you had half the cast was getting ready to go. I mean, like in the actual season of Turbo, like most of the time you see Jason David Frank, Tommy, is like at a racetrack and he's training to be a race man and whatever, because it was just like he was so checked out by that point that they kind of bulk shot. All right, he's behind the wheel at the track, he's doing his thing, and it was way less communal, way less time at the high school, way less time. It was just kind of like broken up in a lot of ways at that point. So.
They had senioritis.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, sure. Well, there's a big shift later. Like Zordon goes away at the end of in mid-season, I believe.
Yeah.
Tommy is not even the Red Ranger by the end of the end of the series. I forget who becomes the Red Ranger.
The TJ. They bring in like 3 brand new. No, 4? I don't know how many people. Did they replace the entire cast?
They replaced everybody because Jason David Frank was the one that wanted to leave.
Yeah.
And apparently, originally, they were just going to replace Tommy. But they were like, if we're getting rid of Tommy, we're cleaning house. Because like I think Johnny Young Bosch said that like I think at least he and like Kat and Tanya were like willing to stick around, but they were like, yeah, here's your walking papers, guys.
Johnny Young Bosch is like, I didn't even need this. I'm going to do Trigun and be an anime man.
To be a legendary voice actor.
Exactly. Yeah. He had the glow up after all of this. So
and TJ is blue in Space Ranger too. So.
Yeah, he gets demoted.
Yep.
I don't know.
Because well, to be fair, Andros is a better Red Ranger. So
yeah.
I don't know. I think Andros is a little bit of a whiny baby. Like, I just want to find my sister. Like, get out of here, man.
She's right there, dude. You can see her every other episode.
You don't know what she looks like. Like, you'd forget your sister's face. She just has pink hair. Like, what's the deal, dude?
Yeah. This is going to be such a great listen for people uninitiated into the Power Rangers lore. So apologies to everybody.
Yeah. Anybody new here? Yeah. We tend to get into the weeds about Power Rangers. Power Rangers the movie episode was actually had to be broken into 2 because
Yeah.
we just kept talking about that shit for hours.
Oh man.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
It's time to power up. The world's most famous action force is back on the big screen. With a secret weapon.
I'm the new Blue Ranger.
What are you talking about?
A giant problem. And a whole new way
Wind Chaser ready to howl.
This is awesome.
to thrill.
Let's rip some velocity.
All right.
Turbo action.
Good thing you don't need a license to drive Zord.
Turbo power. Turbo sword.
Megazord warp sequence is online. Let's shift to the turbo.
That's my man. Wow, cool.
Get ready for the ultimate power trip.
What a rush.
Turbo, a Power Rangers movie.
We open on a totally original, never-before-seen, revolutionary, creative recapping device. And cinema will never be the same again, as we see an opening text crawl.
Dude, the funniest part about that is I literally said as soon as I hit play, if there's a fucking text crawl, I'm going to shit my pants. And then it started. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, at least they did it the right way this time, where it's moving away from the screen on an angle, as opposed to the first movie where they did the text crawl, but it was just like generic nonlinear editor crawling up the screen. So like this had a little more panache to it.
Right.
There's a lot of references in this movie. It seems like they really wanted to kind of get their old favorites from the 80s and whatnot in it. As far as the text scroll goes, it kind of felt like they literally had somebody reading a teleprompter. It's like because like every time they'd finish, the narrator would finish a line, you can kind of like, it was like I was sitting there watching somebody read off a teleprompter, but like from behind the camera and just being, all right, do the next line. Go ahead. And...
Yeah, especially since there's the part where Zordon says pause for dramatic effect and then moves on to the next paragraph.
Right.
So
The text crawl is accompanied by the dulcet tones of Zordon, for the littles, of course, who can't read. And he tells us of a mighty wizard whose home is being invaded by a gang of evil space pirates. The wizard must escape the bads and make it to Earth to ask Zordon for help.
I would just want to point out really quick for the listeners that the script changed Zordon to Gordon.
I wasn't sure if that was on purpose or
It auto-corrected Zordon to Gordon.
Because and
hell
and I was doing it on my work iPad, so I couldn't fucking change anything because the docs interface is terrible on mobile, and I kept reading Gordon over and over again, and then all I could think about was that rat bastard from Thomas, his face floating in the fucking tube instead of Zordon. I'm just a bastard. Like, he's just a shithead. Nobody likes Gordon. Like, nobody likes Gordon. Gordon's head of a train, you know?
His face would fit perfectly in the Zordon too.
Cut to a lush forest where our mighty wizard Larigo evades some cackling bad guys. Larigo, who looks like Cousin It and Station from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, had a diminutive love child.
Station!
Races through the underbrush, slipping out of the grip of the bads on horseback, and then bads on foot. They're Divatox's henchmen called the Detonators, who I personally think is a pretty darn good-looking set of Power Ranger foot soldiers.
Yeah, they're cool.
The Detonators have...
I was just going to say, I totally forgot about the Larigot thing. When he popped up, I was like, oh, shit, yeah, there's this little guy. I forgot.
No.
Doesn't he have a wand? And then he pulled out his wand. I was like, oh, my God, I forgot about all of this.
I will admit, it like going into watching this, I forgot what the driving force of them like getting new powers and like going where they were going. I was like, oh, right, there's this Hobbit guy. And like, which is funny because like you can tell whenever they're doing like the Larigo stuff, it's like, it feels like this is like, oh, made for TV, like they're doing the Hobbit kind of kind of thing. It feels like that's another.
Yeah, I want to say they did this exact same thing in like the He-Man movie that came out in the 80s, where it's like they added in a TV character that was like
Mhm.
Gwildor, the little elf guy with the
Mhm.
key, and like it was.
I
just
think you're
like-
right.
Like we just need like a puppet man. We need somebody that's going to be like our Ewok or whatever.
Yep.
Well, like, and it would have paid off if Larago would have ended up taking over for Zordon, like he was the, command center guy by the end of the thing. But
He didn't speak English. What do you want from him?
English, he's mumbling. It's just like
He turns the Power Rangers into a cult.
It's like, all right, Power Rangers. And new management.
All
This is
hail
what we're doing.
Laragoat. All hail Laragoat.
When this whole thing started, we were fighting putties, we were saving the city. Now we're just like kind of getting Larago's groceries. Like this is a cult. Like this is.
I've
we're
given
just
him
serving
every dime
him.
I've made in 4 years.
Like I've been working in this restaurant for free like this whole time. I
He
don't
won't let me talk to
understand.
my mother. I don't know what's happening.
I haven't slept in 17 and a half days. It's just so. And you see, meanwhile, over in the corner, Adam's little Justin is over in the corner. I've been thinking of castrating myself. Like,
Oh,
oh,
no.
Ah.
Laragoat's offering people the passes. He's like, you should come to my room later. Like, oh no.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no.
The detonators have Larago cornered, backing the small, hairy wizard into a corner until he reaches in his pocket and pulls out the wand. And by sheer strength of thaumaturgical talent, beams himself off planet to search for Zordon. Cut to Tommy and Rocky training for a karate or an MMA competition in a boxing ring, in what looks for all the world like the Greensboro Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I was getting mad WCW flashbacks. I was like, oh shit, is Ric Flair gonna come out? Like it 100% looked like where they shot Starrcade like 4 or 5 years in a row. Because it's just that arena setup looked really, really familiar.
Mm-hmm.
The trainer, by way of the world's worst ADR, tells Rocky that he's trying too hard when he whiffs a spinning heel kick. Adam and Tommy try to help their friend, but he's just too hype. And he proceeds to spin kick so hard that he launches himself over the top rope and to the floor.
As you're one to do.
Yeah. Like I said, this is the most like, okay, we have a wrestling storyline and this guy's going off to get married this summer. What are we going to do? All right, we'll have him get beaten up and taken away in an ambulance and he's not going to be here until the Rumble next year.
And like the thing
hell
about
yeah. Did somebody say wrestling? I know we got a couple in the room here tonight. I got a Steve. Hey, Steve. Hey, how's it going there, buddy?
Yeah.
One Steve to another. I just wanted to say, what the hell is going on?
Is this Austin talking to himself?
No, I think he's talking to you, buddy.
I don't know how to yes and here on this here podcast. I think I'm gonna go back upstairs, have myself a nice little cup of poppycorn, and that's the bottom line. I feel real disrespected, Steve. Steve's could be simpatico, we could be buddies, we could be pals, we could be hombres. What? But no, Steve don't want to play ball. I'm gonna take my ass back upstairs where I'm appreciated and play with the kitty cats, and that's the bottom line. Because old Uncle Steve said so. Okay, so.
My Uncle Steve.
I'm just like taken aback by
Hell
it. It's so
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's scary when he pops up like that sometimes.
I liked seeing the activation with the neck there. That was
Yeah.
it's like sometimes there's like a word that gets people to go into like a
Yeah. Right.
Y'all down here talking about some silly ass Power Rangers. You got your Tommy, what? You got your Tanya, what? You got your Johnny, what? Young, what? Bosch, what? You got your bowl cut little bitch, Justin, what? I hate that little son of a bitch. I'm going back upstairs and I need a little snacky because old Uncle Steve gets so mad when these kids are out here being bad. And that's the bottom line.
Don't
Alec, you're a nice guy. Donnie, you're a nice guy. But Steve, got my eye on you. Oh, Steve's gonna come over there to wherever your ass is sitting in the cold, in the freezing, in the chilly Willikers. And I'm gonna stump a mud hole in it and walk it dry, because that's what Uncle Steve do.
Alec, I don't
See
think I'm
y'all
gonna
later. I
survive
gotta
this
snap.
episode.
It feels like that when it happens, but it goes by and you're okay. You just gotta take deep breaths.
I feel like I have to watch my back here. It's a good thing that I can see. The door behind me. Somebody's gonna come in here.
The thing is, this man stays in my basement. He stays very quiet for very long periods of time, just brooding, grinding his teeth. You know, he's a large man, big man, Steve.
Keep him.
Goddamn right about. But shut up, Jesus Christ! And
Zach, you gotta keep him on the other side of Lake Erie for me.
oh my God! And sometimes
Can he swim? Can he swim?
I don't know. His name is Stone Cold Steve Austin, so probably not.
Probably walks on water.
Yeah.
I'm a goddamn Texas rattlesnake. I sing like a stone, and that's the bottom line. But I'm such a badass motherfucker. I'm going to walk across the bottom of Lake Erie one step at a time. I'm going to find your end. Okay.
Like the fucking zombies in Land of the Dead.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, Land of the Dead's a good one. That's a good shout, Don. Oh, my God.
I have to watch that later.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Ooh,
See,
ooh,
that's why I keep my guy on a planchette on a Ouija board so I can summon him when I want to. He doesn't just show up downstairs.
Kicks the door down. It's kind of scary. He's a large man, that Steve. Cut to an absolutely ancient 50s era coach bus that is probably not safe to transport a bunch of kids. And Kat is directing these children in the age inappropriate song because these kids are over the age of 10. Why are we singing Wheels on the Bus or
Right.
row your boat or something?
Yeah, it was Wheels on the Bus.
And clearly, it's not like they were doing additional verses from the song. It was literally just row your boat over and over again.
It was so annoying.
The cat going to Justin and being like,
don't you know the words?
What's the matter? You don't know the words to this song? Why aren't you singing? It was just like, because he's in hell. What is going on?
And Justin he's like, this fucking song sucks, dude. It's just terrible. She notices a little bowl cut sad boy. And when she checks on him with a totally creepy camera angle, he tells her to buzz off because he's sitting there and Kat's bottom is right in the camera shot.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He tells her to buzz off and she goes away past an extremely bored and probably irritated Tanya because Tanya's not singing along with these kids. She's just sitting in the seat like, oh my God, it's 90 million degrees in California. We're trapped in this fucking bus.
I'm with Tanya this entire movie. She's got the facial expressions throughout the entire movie. It's just yeah, girl. I get it.
The facial expressions of somebody that's trying to get some business going when they didn't give you any lines to speak in the actual movie. She's a non-factor in this film.
Oh my God.
Did you notice too that the bus had the most generic orphanage name? It was Little Angels Orphanage or something. These guys have no parents. Place.
and they they have they don't even call it the orphanage. They call it the youth center. It doesn't have an actual name. Yeah,
they call it the shelter.
Weird. Cut back to the boys' training, and Tommy telling Rocky that maybe the poorly dubbed coach man is right, and he is trying too hard. Rocky, completely out of character for being a former Red Ranger, says maybe he's not going hard enough, and proceeds to go so hard, in fact, that he spinning heel kicks himself out of the ring all the way to the floor and somehow injuring himself bad enough to need a neck brace and be transported out on a gurney. And somewhere, Mick Foley shakes his head at all these soft little fucking millennials. Which they'd be Gen X, but still.
I gotta point out though, buddy, in the very first episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, he is trying to do some reps. Oh wait, no, it's Jason. I'm an idiot.
Jason's
keep going.
Different character.
Yeah.
Although
I used to confuse them so much when I was little. Oh my God, dude. I thought they were the same dude for 3 years. I was like, his face is just a little different today.
He had Mark Hamill syndrome and he had a really bad car accident. And he's just a little fucked up. He just looks so fucked up.
He's the same guy. He just ate some shellfish today. I'm glad I caught that, though. That would have been embarrassing if I said that.
The bus kids rock up just in time to see Rocky loaded up on the gurney, causing Kat and Tanya to act like Rocky got shot or something. Or the kids are younger than they appear to be. They treat them like you would do this if these were toddlers or under sevens. You know what I mean? anybody above the age of 8 is going to be like, oh, he hurt himself, he's going to go to the hospital. Like they're like, oh, stay right here, like don't get too close. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean the morphing grid is malfunctioning? Do they know the morphing grid is malfunctioning? Is it going to explode and kill everybody in the fucking arena? Like, that would be interesting. You know what I mean? Like, could it short out and like shoot ranger powers where, you know, and hurt the kids somehow? Like, how did he get injured if he has Power Ranger strength and speed? It's flexible. What are the rules? That's my question.
The morphing grid wasn't paying him enough, so he
Yeah.
they said, you know what? Maybe we'll take some of that back. Don't worry about it.
Elsewhere across the cosmos, a sick ass submarine.
cartoon. Oh shit! Sorry. Oh, shit. The next YouTube video started playing.
A sick ass submarine lurks beneath the surface of what can only be a lake, because boys, that water is low visibility. Unless Larago's home planet is only fresh water, but that makes sense. Like, oof! Every shot of the submarine is going to be in the murkiest water, and you're what did you guys didn't like treat the water in the tank? Like, you know, this is a miniature. Like,
they filmed in the bay.
They just built the miniature and dumped it in the ocean.
Yeah. This is where all the budget. This is where all the budget went. They actually built this full-size submarine, and they actually threw it in a lake.
They did the Serenity thing. They built the entire submarine one.
Yeah, exactly. And then they had to tell Steve Cardenas, like, sorry, buddy, we don't have the money to play ball here.
Go defenestrate yourself, Steve. Oh, okay, you got it. Divatox storms onto the command bridge, chewing out her subordinate Elgar, the pointy-headed cyborg, because his robots lost the wizard. Because it's never the actual villain's fault, right? It's always the underlings.
That's capitalism for you.
In true Power Rangers villain form, Divatox physically abuses Elgar, cutting off his robot hand. Divatox is pissed at the incompetence of her underlings, and as Elgar and Rygog bicker in the background, she outlines a devious plan. Kidnap Larago's family, hold him hostage, and he'll have to return to save them. And it makes one wonder, how much of a babyface is Larago after all? He just rocks up and leaves his family high and dry on this planet where these evil pirates are. You're like, holy shit, you couldn't just send Zordon an email. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is happening?
That's true.
Also, apparently he could teleport whenever he wanted, so it's like
that was
maybe teleport to your family, which is probably not right there.
Sure. And it seems like their species has some sort of power,
right?
Because his wife exhibits power.
She's got power too.
Teleport your kid and your wife out, and then come back just like loaded up with a bajillion guns and like blow all these people away. Give them the old, bodies hit the floor.
Do you guys know how they come up with these names? Like, is there a specific process, or do you think they're just like Rygog?
Oh no, these are hacks, Donovan. They don't have naming.
Okay, look, I just was thinking.
We're gonna get to the naming convention. Jesus fuck.
Because I remember just watching this, like every time a new character came in and they had like a wild ass name, I'm like, how do they come up with this stuff? But I guess it's just random shit, probably, right?
No, see, here's how it goes. So on the staff, they had a guy named Larry Gold. And so they said, okay, well, we need names. Larago? There you go.
Oh, man, I hate how long it took me to understand where that was going.
They're verbal kinting hardcore. They're just like making portmanteaus of everything. Well, we'll see later a very egregious portmanteau that is unbelievably egregious and made me almost turn the movie off. I was like, you motherfuckers.
I know Divatox is actually a real one. I saw on the trivia on IMDb, her name actually means toxic diva.
Oh, that's good information.
Holy shit. Oh, whoa, hold on there, buddy. My mind is expanding too fast.
I just love how I'm answering my own questions.
Back on good old Earth, Larago crashes down amid some B-roll that would make even Johnny Weissmuller blush, and his beam slams to Earth at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro. And He like wakes up in this gigantic bird's nest with these huge birds, and I need like a video edit of like the beginning of that Kendrick song, and Larago's just high as fuck with these birds hanging out with this lion. He just looks like he's like completely high as shit. Woke up looking for some broccoli, hot tea. Like, oh shit, just like toasted. A lion approaches Larago. And in some lessons the editing department surely learned from Dar, the last of his tribe, the diminutive wizard evades becoming a delicious, if hairy, meal. Because those two creatures were never in the same space at all. And that was like Beastmaster, the TV series level of like, we're going to put a highly dangerous animal next to our actors and they will never actually interact. At the command center, a way too neurotic Alpha tells Big Zordon about Larago's arrival. Zordon, who shows up a little bit late for whatever reason, were they trying to, seed some kind of story seed? Who knows? Tells him to summon the Rangers. Mm-hmm. Like I have to like, imagine like Zordon is trying to eat or something. Like he's got robots dropping kibble in the top of his tank.
Alpha, what do you want? Yes, I know.
I was using the bathroom.
This was my union lunch break time.
Alpha, this is my quiet time. Please
you have
go
to pay
away.
me overtime now.
Zordon's part of a union, but everybody else isn't.
I forgot.
Oh no. You guys don't need one. If you get one, it'll make your jobs bad. I promise. Don't do that.
Here, take this card that explains why unions are bad.
Don't you want to be able to afford a Super Nintendo instead of paying dues?
Right.
Think of all the things you could do with that extra money in your paycheck, Alpha.
Oh, he's talking to Alpha.
Yeah,
that makes it feel even worse. Like Alpha's like, I've been with you for years.
Not in the union. Alpha's not in the command center union.
I don't even get paid.
Talk about a robot, am I right?
You guys are getting paid?
And like Zordon's like, AI is taking our jobs. And they all look at Alpha and they're like, this motherfucker.
Zordon
get him.
Zordon would definitely be friends with Elon Musk.
Oh God.
No, I can't even.
That crosses the line. I can't.
Honestly,
I heard Hyperloop's a really good idea.
That's how they get the Turbo Zords everywhere.
Oh my God. Oh.
5 cars in a Hyperloop all across Angel Grove.
Mm-hmm,
but the instant it starts snowing, all the Turbo Zords just don't work. Rain's too hard, the Turbo Zords don't work.
We're looking into the... Go ahead.
You close your hand in the door and the Turbo Zord cuts your whole finger off because it's all Oh my God.
Shit.
Elsewhere at the hospital, that little pick-me bowl-cut bitch Justin visits Rocky in the hospital, who is laid up like he fell way, way, way farther than 6 feet. And damn, that must have been one hell of a spinning heel kick. When he hears the other Rangers being disrespectfully loud in a hospital as they approach, Justin ducks underneath Rocky's bed. To which I wonder, has the writer of this movie never been in a hospital? Like, there's not room to hide under a hospital.
I also thought that. Like, it didn't seem like there would be enough space. Also, why is he hiding? Is he like I get the feeling that he's like, friends with them already. So why would it be weird that he?
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
That's a very good point.
You're gonna be like, hey guys, I'm gonna leave now.
Well, he was definitely there to like steal some of Rocky's hair or something. Take his socks. I'm gonna be sniffing your underpants later.
Should have just like the one shot of Justin going through Rocky's wallet or something. It's just like, that's why. Okay.
He just leans down and sniffs his head.
One day I will take your place.
He smells like the Blue Ranger. Wait a second.
And then there's a whole different thing. Like, how did this child get that close to a Power Ranger to be able to smell their stench? I'm just over here huffing spandex in the closet, baby. Woo!
They walk in on him sniffing his hair and he turns and hisses at him.
He scurries away sideways.
I've never seen Justin walk forward.
the Rangers commiserate with Rocky about the charity karate competition he can't compete in. Like,
Hell yeah.
who cares? Like,
don't they even say we're gonna lose it now? Shelter's gonna close, and Rocky's just laying there.
Yeah.
We're depending on them winning this competition.
And it's all on you piece of shit.
How much money could that possibly have like netted them?
Dude,
There is a
that
check,
arena
but
was
I didn't look at
packed.
that. Right?
It was.
Like, all these people just come for a karate exhibition. Like, have an actual like wrestling show, or like have like a fight to the death,
Yeah.
Dude, there are so many extras. I had that moment where I'm watching it and I'm like, they would just do CGI for this now. You know what I mean? Because there's so many people. I miss stuff like that.
Did either of you guys ever do karate as a kid, or was that a no-go?
No.
No. Alec and I both did. I did an exhibition in a mall once where it was just
yeah.
a bunch of 10-year-olds doing a kata in the middle of the Galleria.
Did you have to break boards?
No, we weren't that kind of place. The adults did though. Like, but they didn't have the gimmicked ones for the kids like they do now.
Oh yeah. you sound a little bitter about it. You're like, these little motherfuckers.
Well,
they got
for
these
real,
boards.
Like my daughter has kicked through a board. That's like the onboarding now. Like how they'll go to elementary schools and they'll bring like a big old stack of them to so that the kids can all feel like they did something. But yeah.
I mean, they need a draw. They don't have the Power Rangers anymore to pull kids
True.
into the.
I mean, that's honestly very true. They don't have like, constant karate movies coming out with like Chuck Norris and the kid from Sequest. But
oh yeah, was that Sidekick?
yeah, Sidekicks.
I used to watch it all the time when he fucking after he trains and he puts his inhaler down. He's like, I don't need that anymore. I'm like, that's not how asthma works.
That's very fucking funny, dude. he karate trains himself out of asthma.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Oh my god. He hangs out with dolphins. That fucking sounds rad as shit.
I had an issue of Black Belt magazine with the two of them on it as a kid.
Hell yeah, dude. Sidekick was actually a really good movie. Fuck, I gotta watch that again.
I was just I would actually watch a movie with Jonathan Brandis and Chuck Norris in it. That sounds pretty cool.
But Chuck Norris is actually like kinda in it. That's the thing. Isn't that the case? He's only in it a little bit.
I feel like that's the case. I haven't seen it in a bazillion years.
Because if I remember, he likes Chuck Norris, so he starts, and then like Chuck Norris is at this competition, so he's like, I gotta get there, and then basically the whole movie is like, I gotta get in front of Chuck Norris to fight, and then the end of the movie is Chuck Norris watches him and gives him a thumbs up. That's why I think it's in Dodgeball he does that.
Oh
my gosh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I could be totally wrong though. We might get an email like, "Listen here, asshole."
Oh my god.
Man, Chuck Norris was on a lot of these covers. I just searched Black Belt magazine Chuck Norris. He was like the guy. I can't even find the Jonathan Brandis one that I had. Maybe it wasn't this, but I don't know.
Shit.
Over in the command center, it seems Alpha and the Tube Boy have located Larigo, and they summon the Rangers to the command center, leaving us with real questions about the amount of superhuman ability the morphing grid affords. Because how is he this wounded? He can't compete in the charity karate competition, but he could pilot a giant robot and like literally fist fight, whatever monsters. Like take a bunch of laser blasts and not get immediately killed. Like I'm assuming that's just what the morphin grid does for you, allows you to deflect lasers or whatever.
You're talking about Justin, right?
Rocky, because he's injured yet.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying like why couldn't Justin like step in because he could clearly fight and shit. That's why I was like, oh. But what if
he can. That's why he does step in.
Yeah, exactly. What if like I really wish this movie would have taken another turn where Justin like goes evil with the Power Ranger shit. He's like, I can do whatever I want now, and starts like robbing banks and shit.
Exactly. Yes, that would be an interesting concept.
And they're like, you can't do that, Justin. He's like, don't tell me what I can do, like in the overacting in the suit. You know what I mean? Like
that would require a character arc.
We don't have time for that shit.
Now.
We can't even pay Steve Cardenas more than $15 an hour. Character arc.
Like that. If you want to think about something really dark, think about how much money this kid was probably making for being in this movie and in this season. If they weren't going to pay the adults, like this kid was an indentured servant. Whatever. Don't you want to be a Power Ranger kid? Don't you want to be in this movie? Like, of course I do. Oh my gosh, more than anything in the world.
We're doing you a favor.
Pretty much.
Tommy and the others are whisked away by transporter to the command center, revealing the Power Rangers' identity to the still hiding Justin. Justin, being a total doofus, reveals his presence to Rocky, asking Rocky if he is in fact a Power Ranger. And like, Rocky's kind of got to kill him now, right? Like, well, you found out the secret? Now we got to just off with his bowl cut. Get him out of here.
He underreacts if you ask me. Did you hear that? And it's like, what? No. I'm like, oh shit, kid.
Like, you're a Power Ranger? Like Rocky just starts like rap IV tubing around his fist. He's like, give me a hug.
Give me a hug. Can you grab that Jello for me really quick?
It's okay. It's okay. It's time to go to sleep now. Just relax. It's gonna get real cold.
He gets on his communicator. He's like, Alpha, I got another one.
That's what Ernie was serving all that time at the juice bar. Like, we got hoagies. They're just serving all the meat from the kids that discovered they were the Power Rangers. Real dark turn. Cut to the command center's new look. The Vasquez Rocks. It's a fun, familiar location from a bajillion low-budget sci-fi shows and movies. We've seen it in Star Trek, obviously. It's where Captain Kirk kills the Gorn with an improvised bullet.
Oh, is that the
Wow,
that's the
really?
spot?
Yeah, that's Vasquez Rocks. It was also in... Oh, it's been in however bajillion... It was in a bad John Carter of Mars Asylum version. It was in
They did
Roswell.
one of those?
Oh, yeah, there's a Princess of Mars Asylum version. It's extra bad, and it's wonderful. It's got Casper Van Dien, I believe, plays John Carter.
Of
Man,
course.
that guy was hunting for a paycheck at that point.
It's not Casper Van Dien.
The
it's some
Omega
other guy.
Code.
Ugh.
He was in everything back then. Any kind of cheap movie that was coming out on VHS or something. That's like when VHS, straight to VHS movies were booming. It was just like, oh, who's on this? Casper Van Dien.
Well, I think the Silent Princess of Mars actually came out around the same time as the John Carter movie because like that's a public domain story.
Yeah.
That's what Asylum usually does.
Yeah, they always tried to do that. Like, right? Like it would be like day and date with it, where Transformers coming out, you get Transmorphers or whatever.
Yeah.
Atlantic Rim.
Atlantic Rim.
Get out of town.
I was looking at movies earlier to watch, and one just came out called Odyssey. And I was like, this is definitely not the Christopher Nolan movie, and I clicked it, and it's just a cheap ripoff.
Well, there's a few really good TV miniseries Odysseys. I remember like actually watching them in school because they were like so true to Homer's like actual writings.
I'll just stick to "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou."
Some lady was banging the ocean. She's like, Poseidon. I'm like, I'm watching this at school. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh! My little Christian eyes. I was like, oh, Mom. You'll never believe it. They made me pee in a litter box.
Jesus Christ!
Oh my
I had to
God.
watch some lady get fucked by the incoming tide, and I had to pee in a litter box. They gave me pronouns, Mom. Save me from the liberals. Cut to the command center's new location. Oh, I already read that. Zordon sends Tommy and Kat to Africa with some Benton Quest-looking technology backpacks to look for the wizard, while Adam and Tanya stay in the command center. And I feel really fucking bad about putting Aisha in here so often because, like, poor Tanya didn't get to say a word, and they didn't say anything to her.
Nope.
All this time, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? You barely saw her.
I'm gonna be real. There is a part of me that like a sigh of relief that they didn't send Tanya to Africa.
Oh my god!
So it's like, okay, yes, you stay in the command center. That's fine.
You guys all know each other, right? Like, oh, what the fuck?
No.
Hey, fuck you, Zordon.
Okay. Well, in the show, I mean, canonically,
It's Zordon.
I was not totally clear on exactly so Tanya takes over from Aisha at the end of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers going into Zeo, but it was while the Power Rangers were kids. So Aisha goes on her vision quest to Kenya or something, meets a tribal girl who is Tanya, and then swaps places and is like, you can go live in America and I'll live here to learn about my ancestors or whatever.
Aisha's just like, I'm gonna stay in
and it's
Africa.
like it's so weird. It was like the
Jesus
weirdest
Christ.
thing. Like, so that's the thing is like Aisha, did she come back to America? She's with her family, or did she stay in Africa? I don't really have supreme clarity on this. Like, it's a very, very weird story of how Tanya got onto the Power Rangers.
And
my
lest we
God.
forget, Cat is literally a lycanthropic cat.
Is she?
I think that was part of the curse, though, wasn't it? Like that was like a Rita thing.
Yeah, I think so.
There was a part where me and Grayson were watching this, and he looks at me and he goes, "I really like Trini, but I know she can't be in it anymore." I was like,
Aw.
"Okay, buddy."
We all really liked Trini.
I know. It was just I wasn't expecting it. And he just said it in like such a like sweet matter of fact way. He was like, "I understand." I was like, "Geez, buddy, okay."
That's brutal.
Yeah, I was not expecting it. I had to share that because it made me sad.
That's very sad.
That's
Oh no, that's so sad. How,
Lighten your burden, friend.
Yeah.
Over in Africa, Larigo is frolicking with some chimps while faux Africa adjacent music plays. And I don't know if this is an attempt on the part of the producers to desperately hope that childhood whimsy will cover up the terrifying proposition of a troop of chimpanzees just leading this guy off into the forest. Because, I don't know, they got to tear him limb for limb, chew his face off. Like, chimps are notoriously dangerous animals. They're just,
Right.
this poor little person in this puppet costume is just like, okay, I can't see shit. I'll just be led off into the jungle by these chimpanzees. You know, all you hear is just bushes rustling, and like, oh god,
Screaming. I was kind of worried about these chimps, man. The way they kept looking around. I was like, uh-oh. I hope some shit wasn't going on off script, like behind the scenes.
Off camera, there's a couple of guys with trank guns, just like waiting to make sure that they don't.
Exactly.
At Divatox's headquarters, where they all live in a shark-shaped submarine, the Bads have located the wizard as well. Elgar laments the fact that they aren't out pillaging like real pirates, but Divatox shouts him down, saying that Larigo has the key to a secret island to wake up an evil creature named Malagor, who she will marry and use his power to rob the entire universe. Use his power to rob the entire universe, because, you know, pirates. Divatox, who I'm sure sent church moms clutching at their proverbial pearls with a revealing outfit, charges Elgar with the tasks of kidnapping 2 humans of pure spirit for her to offer to Malagor as a dowry. They set course for Earth, because the submarine is also a spacecraft, and cackle madly as their plan takes shape, because, you know, evil. And it's a very cool-looking submarine. Like, did they ever give it a name? Was this ever named later in the series, or?
Oh, no idea.
Okay,
No idea.
Like, why doesn't it have a name? It's just a cool shark-looking sub. Like, I have it written down somewhere as the Nautilus.
Oh my gosh.
That's too clever.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, I don't think that this movie sent any church moms clutching their pearls, Divatox or no. Do you guys know how much money this movie made at the box office? I was just looking this up.
$50,000.
I saw it, so I'm not gonna guess.
Less than $1 million.
8 million cumulatively worldwide.
On what budget?
Does not say. So
I mean, they might have still made their money back.
yeah, let's be clear, they probably did.
I think it was around 8 on IMDb. I think it cost around 8 million to make.
Really?
Yeah.
But you know, then all that rolls into the TV series. They're basically like pre-shooting half the stuff that they're going to use for like all the setup sequences, all of the submarine stuff, all of the morphing. Like it all just rolls back in. So
I'm sure they made plenty of money off home video release.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Half these movies that super bomb at the theaters in the 90s, like, made shit pots of money back on home video.
yeah. But that's just like crazy though, like 8 million compared to like, let's see, like, so the first one made worldwide 40 million. So, you know, that's a pretty steep drop off from just 2 years in terms of the Mania.
I wonder what the budget on that one was. It's probably like 20 maybe.
Way higher, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's so much pop music and stuff in it. So that's the other thing with this movie is like, it feels like a TV show in terms of how they, just
man.
like the production values. Like there's no, you know, it's just the music from the TV show throughout and stuff. They don't have any like, there's not a sick Red Hot Chili Peppers song accompanying Divatox's debut.
Yep.
There's no action boy now, action girl now.
No,
I'm sure that cost a pretty penny.
Well, I mean, that was Devo. They were, you know, they were commanding a high.
That was a Devo song?
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yep.
All this time, I thought Mark Motherball was a genius. And
Oh,
he released that
jeez.
travesty.
Jeez, going for the jugular for no
Mark Mothersbaugh is a
reason.
genius. Hey, Mark Mothersbaugh is from Akron, Ohio. He's a hometown boy. You can't be mad at Mark
Hometown
Mothersbaugh.
boy.
It was a joke. I love Mark Mothersbaugh. He's a good guy.
I don't know. Maybe he'll listen to this. He'll understand, Zach. It's
Mark
okay.
Mothersbaugh is he's a legitimate genius though. Like
I know.
have you ever seen his his homemade oscillators and keytars and stuff he makes?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like tennis rackets that he puts like homemade built oscillators on with keys on the end of the tennis racket and a guitar strap so he can like make weird noises and shit. It's very cool.
Hell yeah, brother.
On Earth, at a very minor league looking game of baseball, our old friends Bulk and Skull are working as security. Well, their supervisor, who looks like he's about to ask for cigarettes in the apocalypse, says some junk about relieving him from duty later that night. That was the one I was talking about, Donovan. That's deep shit.
But I got nothing.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Do you remember at the very beginning of Dawn of the Dead when they're getting in the helicopter
Yeah.
and the guy in the cop outfit comes up? He's like, "You got any cigarettes?"
Oh my god.
Like, that guy looks exactly like that actor. And they're like, "No, we don't have any cigarettes." And then as he walks away, they all immediately light up. It's very fucking
I
funny.
remember that. Yeah.
Schreier and Narvi do their now familiar bits, looking like whole ass 35-year-olds with those receding hairlines, man.
Yeah.
Woof.
And also, they're all supposed to be still in high school, right?
Mhm.
I've never understood them being cops.
Yeah, I think they're just supposed
They were
to
junior
be unarmed
cops.
security,
Okay.
but like at the same time, like
Also,
Hmm.
I didn't realize the three of them must have been fired. I don't know if you guys covered this already, but like the chief or whatever says we got our second chance, like as if they were
Oh,
all, like,
yeah.
hired
Yeah,
back.
they hadn't been cops. I mean, this is I can't believe I know this, but like they hadn't been cops since Mighty Morphin. Throughout Zeo, I think they owned they were working at the juice bar. I think it was like
Oh, were
they were
they?
doing like a thing. Yeah, it was like a separate thing.
Hmm.
Was it Zeo or Turbo where Bulk and Skull spent half of the season invisible?
No, I don't know.
Like it's one of these seasons. Like,
Probably Turbo.
Somebody
Let's be real.
said somebody commented on our last Power Rangers episode because we mentioned that like we were surprised they didn't get their own show, Bulk and Skull, and somebody said that one of the reasons they were either monkeys or went invisible was because they were trying to shoot a pilot for that.
Oh, yeah,
wow,
yeah, yeah.
really?
Yeah.
they
Huh.
should have somebody should have bought that. That would have been rad.
Yeah. I would.
Why did their hair turn white?
I
Because
have
they were
no idea.
brainwashed.
Okay.
Makes perfect sense. Power
They,
Rangers.
you know, their hair was washed and they'd left the soap in. So
It's
there
probably
you go.
it's probably all answered in that 3-hour cut.
Probably, yeah.
It's fucking wild, man.
Silly hijinks happen, and Skull blasts his commanding officer in the face with mustard. Donovan, not like that. You're sick.
Hey, oh.
Meanwhile, in the wild jungles of the land of B-roll, Tommy and Kat use their tricorder to zero in on Larago's location.
Man, their little technology things were so sick. When he's like, "You want some water?" I was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, I wanted that backpack
Yeah,
so
dude.
bad as a
Hell
kid.
yeah, man.
I had the tricorder thing because it turned into a gun.
Oh, no
shit.
way, that's rad.
Like it folded out into like a full like weapon thing that they.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
I didn't
man.
even know. It didn't even look like it was a different prop. Is that something that was in Zeo that they just had?
I don't know if it was from Zeo specifically, but like I don't know.
That's so sick.
I love that type of shit in tokusatsu shows where
Mhm.
like this is a phone and now it's a magic wand and now it's a
Right.
super gun and like this is my dagger that shoots into a death laser. Oh man, that's so cool.
Oh, by the way, I was wrong. Zeo was the season where they start their own detective agency with Stone. They leave the
okay.
force and then they're detectives. So they were self-employed and then for some reason went back to the force here.
Yeah, I'm sure it
Didn't
worked out.
Very important that we iron out the lore of Bulk
We
and Skull.
really have to get this straight.
In the command center, Adam and Tanya are tracking a large mass of energy headed straight for Earth. And little Adam just can't help but wring his hands and hope that the coolest, most badass, bestest Ranger Tommy comes back soon. Because, gee Willy Willikers, he's just the coolest, best, and baddest Ranger to ever don the helmet. Jesus fucking Christ.
I don't appreciate your sarcasm.
No, dude. Sarcasm my ass. Like, I get so sick of them gassing Tommy up so hard. It's just like, come on.
Which is ridiculous because Adam's like a great number 2. He's great.
Mhm.
I love Adam. And then prior to him, like Zach was the like second in command for Jason. Like the good track record on first mates going on here.
Why does Adam get shit on though? Like, well, he gets the frog in the first fucking movie, and then his Zord in the second one's a minivan.
I was gonna say it is totally a minivan. Isn't it?
It's bogus as shit, dude.
Adam actually gets a really, really cool story arc with I can't remember the name of the Black Ranger in space. Like, he has a whole thing where
Carlos.
Carlos, yeah, there's like a 2 or 3 episode arc where Carlos is having a crisis of conscience, of like he's not a good ranger, and Adam has to come in and like help him find his confidence and stuff. It's actually a really cool thing.
And isn't there a whole thing where it's like Adam's like power coin is like broken and he's like putting his life at risk for morphing? That's great.
Oh, that is cool. Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah. Imagine that. I feel like Lightspeed Rescue probably has some actual science fictional concepts that are pretty cool. I don't know.
I could see that.
Yeah. Lightspeed Rescue fucking rules, man. I love Lightspeed Rescue. That night, Bulk and Skull are being idiots, and they get so spectacularly lost on their way to relieve their superior officer that they end up crashing their sick-ass motorbike with a sidecar right through the side of a place called Norman's Bait Shop. And I'm like, hey, watch it, movie. That's my job to make the bad references. A strange sound from above draws their attention, and Divatox's shark-shaped ship subplane thing hovers into view, the sinister craft pulsating with an eerie light, and the 2 buffoons are dragged upwards, screaming as the transporter beam draws them aboard.
Hell yeah. It's all like
close encounter.
Yeah, they got that close encounter. Later, you're just going to see them in the prison in the bottom of the submarine building, like weird statues of Tommy out of mashed potatoes and shit. Smash cut to an extremely familiar waterfall in Africa, as Tommy and Kat, let's not forget she used to be a literal cat, search for Larigo. The oppressive heat of the jungle drags at the Rangers, causing Kat to ask for a break. But the kids just don't know about the jungle all like that. Even though Kat is Australian and she should be okay with the heat. But, of course, in the jungle, everything wants to kill you. So a sneaky, sneaky snake descends towards the Pink Ranger. Tommy.
I think this might be like I'm not particularly a fan of snakes, and so this might be the origin of this might be the origin of my fear of snakes.
Not that nice lady, you bastards. And this is one of the bad instances of a weird angle on Kat's bottom or the way she sits down or something. It's inappropriate. As a kid wouldn't recognize that, but like as a grown adult, I'm like, that's some creep shit.
And it'd be one thing if it was like once, but it's like every time Kat is on scene, it's like, here's like a close up of her butt or her boobs or something. It's like, okay, this seems on purpose.
Maybe Phil Phillips was actually onto something. He was seeing things that I wasn't seeing as a kid.
Tommy, being the coolest, best, and baddest dude ever to live, spots the snake and helps Kat evade the crushing coils of the beast. But they're just a bit too close to the edge of the cliff, and Tommy accidentally yanks Kat so hard she tumbles over the side, barely snatching at a root at the last possible second. The root snaps, a spur pulling off her morpher as she falls to her apparent doom in the water below. Using her lightning-quick Ranger reflexes, Kat snatches the second half of her morpher out of the air and morphs into Zeo Ranger Pink in midair, assuming that the power of the morphing grid would keep her from being killed on impact. And morph she does, but only about halfway, as the water of the lagoon interrupts the morphing grid's full transformation, but it still protects her from the harmful fall.
You just did a lot of work there to justify this whole thing.
I always question why wouldn't she just fully morph?
I mean, I think she
Like-
did, but the idea is, like Zach said, it interrupted it. But it's just like,
Wait, is there a rule of that though?
no, there's
Like-
never been you can't get wet when you're getting morphed. It's like Divatox just brings super soakers to every battle from this point forward. It's
like, come on.
like they're pulling out the keys. Hold on.
Like, what are the rules, right? It would be, and that's a cool concept. You know what I mean? They morph outside. Maybe whatever, the morphing grid is there a satellite in space that is interrupted, but is it work like Centurion's rules?
Yeah.
Like you have to have something on that will transport the power to your body.
No, this
if
is
it's
purely just
interrupted?
don't get wet. This is it. That's
guess
all they got. This is like you can't morph in the rain. You can't morph when it's humid. When there's a certain percentage of moisture in the air, it's a no-go. That's why they live in Southern California. It's dry, arid.
Right.
You got to keep those Rangers away from Tommy, then, man, because they'll never be able to morph at all.
Whoa,
Damn.
Hey,
A lot of
yeah,
False City Jones over here.
Do you guys by any chance feel that the wetter Tommy got in the jungle, the more he looked like Bret Hart?
Yeah, he did.
The more he let his hair down, yeah.
Yeah.
As the movie goes
like,
on, it's
starts
just slowly
moving.
coming more undone.
He's gonna get his leg kicked out of his leg.
Oh, God.
It's kind of a cool concept when we're actually playing with how the morphers work. It's an interesting bit of danger that could actually lead to a nice story seed. But you know what? Fuck that. Tommy, because he's the coolest, baddest, and best dude to ever live, just key eyes super hard and backflips directly into the water with zero danger. Because Tommy.
He didn't need to do the flip. He could have just jumped in. He's just like
was perfect.
aura farming on.
Yeah. So there is a JDF shit tier fantasy film in which JDF just plays the Green Ranger versus like dragons and orcs and shit. And one of the first bits of the movie is him literally just like key-eyeing and spin kicking a dragon in the face. And it's
Hell
just
yeah.
like, that just must have been how JDF was. He was just like, yeah, just like.
Did he seem like he wanted to be in that movie?
I don't know if you can tell.
Because this, like, I mean, okay, well, maybe it's a you can't tell thing, but like, I almost like. Listen, I don't think that they gave him things to do in this movie to placate him. I think it's just the Tommy thing, but there was not a single scene in this movie where his enthusiasm ranked above maybe a generous 3, let's say. Like,
because you can tell like later when he's like fully invested like in Dino Thunder, like he's
he's
giving
back.
it 100%.
He's back, and he's like, you know what? It feels like he's like, you know what? I maybe misread how I should have treated this time in my life. Maybe he was nostalgic for his own high point at that. This is like he's got one foot out the door. He wants to go make MTV's Undressed. He wants to go be in crappy films. Have you ever seen that? You ever seen MTV's Undressed?
He was in MTV's Undressed.
Yeah, like it was like, do you know what I'm talking about, Donovan? Like,
No, not at all.
it was essentially like softcore porn, but on MTV.
Oh no!
And so like I remember being on vacation one time and like flipping through the channels, and you land on MTV, and it's like some really steamy scene, but it's like, that's Tommy. Like it was just like it clicked. It's like, so he was on that delightful show.
Was he doing key eyes when he was up in them goods?
Uh-huh.
Oh shit! Leave me alone.
That's why
This guy's terrifying.
they only had him on a couple episodes because he couldn't he couldn't keep the key eyes in.
He kept calling it his Zord.
Oh God.
Let me know if you like this girl. Yeah.
What was the name of his dagger? It was like something
Saba?
Sabers. Yeah, that's what he called his waiter.
Take it to a power now. That's just your penis. Tommy and Kat get
Is this
dragged.
a condom? No, that's a morphin coin. Sorry.
Ah.
Tommy doesn't need protection. Yeah.
His
The only
absolute
shield that I wear is
control
on
of-
my chest. Yeah.
Oh shit!
We need white tigers or power now.
Oh boy.
Gross.
It just sounds
Tommy-
super racist to me.
It's like, oh my god. Tommy and Kat get dragged down a river through raging rapids, struggling valiantly through the roiling white water, until Tommy activates the Super Tech Backpack's built-in rescue raft feature. as Kat proclaims that her leg is hurt. And that freaking backpack's super cool, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh man, it has a rescue raft. Like, what else does it do? Does it shoot like flares? Can it like, does
it might.
Yeah.
We don't know. They're
love
never
to
going to
see
use it
more
again
of it.
in any capacity.
Right. And this isn't even the adventure season. There's like specifically, it's not Lightspeed Rescue.
Operation
Operation
Overdrive.
Overdrive. Yeah.
Mm.
Operation Overdrive is an adventure themed season. You could have had all kinds of cool stuff going on. With, like adventure
Yeah.
things.
I do like that, like whenever they like expand their tools out to be like, because like most of the time they're just like morphing and then they have their weapons and that's kind of it. I like it when they have the more utility based tech to use or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then bring back when Billy was building a car that could fly and
Hell yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Kat proclaims that her leg is hurt, and it seems like the morphing grid isn't worth its salt after all. She wasn't protected from the fall, but Tommy was, because Tommy. Meanwhile, on Divatox's squalid shaped submarine.
I love how much you're shitting on him, and it's honestly really funny.
I just like when you
I
say
get what you're
Power
saying.
Rangers,
Yeah.
anybody my age or Steve's age is going to be like, yeah, Tommy.
I like Jason. I'll go with Jason every time.
Yeah, it was way more Jason.
Yeah.
What about
Actually,
Wes?
Billy was my favorite, but as of the leaders, yeah, I liked Jason a lot more.
I literally when JDF passed, like not when he passed, but I made a satire repost about that. I was like, Jason was the OG, and it's bullshit. He never gets his
God.
flowers. So yeah, I agree.
Like, not the right time, Donovan.
Exactly. I ended up deleting it. I was like, people aren't gonna get the joke here.
Oh my god.
I will walk into battle for Carter from Lightspeed Rescue, and I will hear no detractors. That man is the best Red Ranger that has
Yeah,
ever
he was
done
a good one. Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. Lightspeed Rescue is a little lower on my list.
Yeah, Lightspeed Rescue, whatever.
Hateful.
Everybody's got their list, right?
Yeah.
There's
you
plenty
say
of people
hateful?
my age.
That's so hateful.
Just nothing but hate from the left. Vitriol and hate from the left.
Alec is a nasty man. The
Hey.
words that come out of your mouth at Lightspeed Rescue. That great Red Ranger and that lady with the shortest skirts ever on TV.
Because we learned about
speaking of creep stuff, like yeah.
We learned all about how Shuki Levy casts his.
Honestly, you know what?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, on Divatox's squalid-shaped submarine, she and Elgar find out that the humans they captured aren't quite as strong, brave, and pure as they thought. And I really don't like Pure doing that much work, and it's kind of creepy. Divatox physically and verbally abuses Elgar when she sees that the sacrificial offerings are in fact Bulk and Skull, demanding that they find better sacrifices.
I like that you have rude written in here because my brain also is like, oh, that's mean.
Yeah.
they're good guys. Come on.
Like, Malagor might still like it. The food might just taste a little funny. You know?
When
I think they would taste like chicken.
what point did they show them getting brainwashed? Because I don't think I saw that if they did.
No. Oh,
No,
they
they're
scrambled their brains so
Yeah.
they'd be more docile.
Yeah.
Did they show that happening, or they just mention it, or does that just happen when they get beamed up?
They just
No.
mentioned it, and then they're standing on deck of the submarine, like wobbling around.
Okay, because I must have missed that part. Because when they started speaking in German accents, I was like, "What the fuck happened?" I didn't understand that at all. My brain literally was just like, "That longer cut, I guess, just explains this."
It would have been funny if for the entire rest of Turbo, Bulk and Skull had to be Antonio Banderas and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they never got their brains back. That would have been pretty funny. Over in the
Is
jungle,
that what they were doing?
Yeah. He specifically said, "My name is Antonio Banderas."
Oh.
I
Yeah,
didn't get
you're
to say
right.
Antonio. I
Jason
didn't
Harvey
say
was so bad at it that you couldn't tell.
My name is Antonio Banderas.
I do
Is
like
it?
that bit.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
A little racist, but it was pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
In the jungle, Tommy helps Kat stagger her way through the underbrush, expressing frustration that they're going in the right direction, but Larago's life signs are weakening. Kat supposes that it must be because of the sun's heat, but Alpha said earlier that the wizard species couldn't survive very long on Earth. So which is it? I just keep imagining that sweet little hairy guy is being slowly killed by the chimps. And because that's just where my brain went. I'm like, that lady got her face pulled off by a chimp.
Yep. Again, I was just worried about the safety of those monkeys, man.
One of those
apes.
One of those, yes, apes. Thank you, Don. Ooh,
Yep.
Yeah.
I call it like I sees it.
And one of those apes later looks supremely embarrassed for anyone to see his junk. Just standing there, just balls out, and the other kid has his hands over his
real graphic with some of those chimp shots.
He's like, "Oh, don't look at my dangler, you guys." Finally, Tommy and Kat find Larigo, and the wizard uses his magic to heal Kat's leg as good as new. Right before he
Can they bring him to heal Rocky?
He doesn't exist, right? It's not Rocky.
Larigo can't create money, Alec.
When Tommy calls Alpha for transport to the command center, the chimps wave goodbye, presumably sad that their potential victims are leaving. On board Divatox's sub, the Bads spot two new humans potentially to sacrifice to Malagor. When the pair scuba dives on a reef, the robots grab them, dragging them aboard the sub. And I absolutely love the detail that the detonators were underwater without any breathing tanks, and the humans had the scuba tanks. I was like, okay, you did a good job there, movie, because there could have been a world where
they're pirates. They don't need air.
Yeah, they're robots.
Yeah.
Divatox celebrates the acquisition of sacrifices to her soon-to-be hubby, and reveals that she has Larigo's family held captive. Using Larigo's species' natural telepathic ability, Divatox contacts Zordon, saying, "Deliver Larigo, or it's acquaintance for the lady and the baby." Oh, and maybe she'll throw in the lives of two of Zordon's former charges. The abducted divers, it seems, are Kimberly and Jason.
What are the odds?
Oh my god! Zordon is goblin spelled backwards.
What?
I was hoping you guys could explain that to me. Again, did I miss something? How do they know this was them? Did it just happen to be them?
I think it just happened to be them.
Bullshit. That's such bullshit.
Listen, six people live in this town, and
listen, they were on their way to help with the youth center thing. Kimberly says this in her expository dump.
That's true.
She's like, how could we get captured? Also, can I say that this was home to I think this is the part, my least, I don't know why this just made me mad, but just like the least delicate part of like storytelling in this. They're in the command center and they see that it's Jason and Kimberly. They reveal them, Kimberly first and then Jason. Jason's on the show at this point. The Gold Ranger has been on every episode of the show. So them being like, oh, it's Jason, fine. And then you have Kimberly, and it's supposed to be the big return, but it's like Tommy no-sells it entirely. It's like his girlfriend from 2 seasons prior who sent him a Dear John letter to break up with him. Like, it's like, oh, that should be the, and Kimberly. Wait, Kimberly was in town? Like something. Not
it's
just,
fine.
It's
He's
Kim.
got Cat
and
now.
It's Jason. Oh, and and a new son who's about to be revealed as the Blue Ranger.
And I don't know if that's because they didn't write it well or because JDF was like, "Fuck this shit."
Well, it's the order. It's like if you're gonna like just writing wise on the page, put Kimberly second. She's the more shocking reveal of the two. Like. Just I don't know why that bothered me out of everything in this movie, but it was just like it just showed like, all right, they don't even know these characters. Like these are the progenitors of this show.
Well, shouldn't Jason technically still at this point be able to transform into Zeo Gold?
I think the last episode of Zeo he gave up the powers. I think it was something like that.
Yeah, he had to give it back to the pretty boys.
Like Zeo is like the one season that doesn't have a real ending because it's this movie, right? So like you don't see the destruction of the Zeozords. You don't like it ends kind of on a normal episode, I think, where it's like, oh, Jason decides he's not going to be Zeo Gold anymore.
Do they not redo Like them getting the turbo stuff?
I don't know. This rolls right into the show. It's
Oh,
not
wow.
like like
Okay.
the 95 movie where they have to redo the whole Ninja
Oh, I
Zord thing
thought
or
maybe they
whatever.
redid the
No.
story plot. And
I don't think so. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen any of this, but I
Uh-huh.
think this just serves as the season premiere, basically.
That's weird.
Which is why it also came out in like March that year, is because they were like just trying to. This wasn't like a summer event. It was like, all right, put it out, and then the next month Turbo starts. So
When it
Weird.
comes to Jason and Kimberly, I read that in that longer cut, they wrote a love story between them. Like they were starting to like feel out like a relationship between them. And if you watch it, there's moments where they look at each other a little
Yeah.
longingly.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but Kimberly's like, I've got to be on Felicity next month, so this is a very short-term revival. I'm about to get my SAG card, so.
Yep.
She's got to be on in Infested with Tom Paris from Star Trek Voyager soon. Some shit tier ass Killer Bee movie.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's bad. Tommy woodenly reacts to seeing his former flame, and we cut to the bilge of the submarine, the most square room in a decidedly unsquare craft. When Kim and Jason remark that they can't morph to escape captivity, two familiar faces appear in the porthole next to the bulkhead. Bulk and
The
Skull are here.
bulkhead.
Hey. Bulk and Skull are here, but they don't recognize the Rangers. Their personalities have now been altered to be that of a really racist and really bad set of impressions, respectively. Because Jason Narvy's trying his best, but buddy. At the command center, Zordon explains Divatox's plan to the Rangers. And at nearly 30 minutes into the movie, we finally have a goal. Divatox wants Larago's magic key to unlock a Bermuda Triangle analog, to get to another dimension, to travel to the lost continent of Meranthius.
Ugh.
And this is the point when I said, fuck you, movie, your naming convention is trash. Like, that is the worst portmanteau ever. Like, what do we have? We have Atlantis, Mu, and Lemuria. Just smush it all together and we'll be fine. He's too busy worried about shooting butts and not worried enough about naming things.
They put that in as a placeholder name, and they're like, we'll come up with something better later.
And on the day, they're like, are we really going with Meranthius? Yeah, it'll be fine. Oh, okay. When Alpha tells the Rangers that Larago is preparing himself to surrender, Tommy selfishly says that they should go in and get Kim and Jason first. Adam, ever the voice of reason, because he's a really good Power Ranger, says that they were Rangers once and they should be able to handle themselves in a bad situation better than Larago's civilian family.
Thank you. Come on.
Continuity.
Is Tommy really that much of a babyface? He's like all about showboating and grandstanding. Like, I'm going to go in there and rescue my friends. Like, no. Adam's like, okay, no, you got to pump the brakes, dude.
But have you seen his hair?
Cut to a wave-raked coastline, and the four Rangers and their new wizard friend beam in from the command center. With a shout and a ruckus, Elgar's detonators blast forth out of Divatox's submarine like they're extras in Waterworld, buzzing around like crazy on their ski-doos. When Elgar lands, he demands the Rangers send Larago down to him, but they attempt to negotiate. While the Rangers bicker about how to handle the situation, Larago teleports down and gives himself up willingly. Elgar, being evil, says, "Get stuffed, noobs, no deal," and he speeds off with the wizard.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Give us our friends," and he's like, "Fuck you," and they drive away. He's like, "I'm evil, what do you expect?" They dump two decoy bodies in the water, and Tommy goes absolutely wild trying to get to the apparently lifeless bodies, tipping his hand way too hard that he's way too emotionally invested in this, which could go to an interesting place, but
it does not.
Of course it does not. Because this sucks. If the Power Rangers had any kind of actual command structure, Tommy could be removed from duty for being compromised, but no, we need teenagers with attitude, not trained professionals. Good job, Zordon. Like, this is the part of the Star Trek episode where Bones looks at Captain Kirk and he says, "I'm taking you off of active duty. I am the doctor. I can overrule the command of the captain of the ship if I think you're unfit for duty." And that's the point when Alpha should say, no, we're taking your morpher away. We're just going to turn off your access to the morphing grid because you're way too emotionally invested.
Yeah.
But no, this is for 4-year-olds and we can't have anything fun.
Not for nothing, it could have opened up like the opportunity for like love triangle stuff with Kat too, where it would be like, I know you want to go save Kimberly, but you're doing this the wrong way. Like, you know, just like, you know, he's like letting his heart and his brain, you know, not be in the same place at the same time. So
yeah, there's plenty of potential for great story stuff here.
Yeah.
It just goes nowhere. There's also great potential for cool suited fighting monster action, and that also goes nowhere. So what are we doing?
a good question.
On the submarine that desperately needs a name, Divatox tries her best to operate Larago's magic key, but to no avail. She spouts magic words, says incantations, shouts general gibberish, but the key just won't respond. She then harangues Larago about operating the key for her and commands a course to be set for the Nemesis Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
She monologues about her weird, probably gross union with Malagor and how she'll rule the universe as Kimberly and Jason listen from the improbably large and inexplicably square bilge below. Like, why is it so big? Why is it so big? There's lots of space in this submarine. Like, is it supposed to be not a bilge tank, but a? Is this supposed to be your ballast?
Right.
Is this where they're pumping water in to submerge the vessel? We don't know.
Shit, I was gonna say. Oh, the guy that did the original theme song did a song for this one too, didn't he? And Turbo.
Yeah.
I recognized his voice. It's like, oh shit, did he record a whole new song?
Oh, yeah. He was on it for a good long while. Like,
I mean, I gotta imagine he was
something.
Did he stick around for the Disney era?
I believe so.
Okay.
Oh shit. Yeah, that dude's got such a like recognizable voice.
Yeah, it's Ron Wasserman is the guy's name.
Hell yeah.
I feel like the Disney stuff must have been a different conductor because like they get very different, you know.
Yeah, you're right. Like Mystic Force is like they go to like
magic and there's a rap song.
Well, it's like a rap song. Yeah, it's like that's the first one where they deviated from like rock. I think
Ninja Storm's a straight up like pop punk like Blink-182 analog, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Mystic Force or whatever that one was. That was one of the ones I never watched.
Mystic Force is where I fell off.
Dude, Mystic Force is actually pretty cool. They have like their Zords are rad. Like robots are really cool.
They got all the gear is good. I just I don't know what there was something about like the characters I just didn't like, and like I don't know. At that point I was like 12 or whatever, and it was like, all right, well.
I didn't like the suits either. The suits kind of put me off. I was like,
You don't like the cape?
That was the capes, right? Yeah. No, I didn't like that.
According to Wikipedia, it was the same guy. It was Ron Wasserman up through In Space. Then there was a hiatus, but he returned and he did the SPD theme song. So
that explains it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing. In the meantime, he had done the theme song for Mummies Alive.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
And like so
Mummies Alive.
He went solo after In Space. He broke free from Saban. But yeah, this dude. Guess what, Alec? December 9th, 1997, Rock the Dragon from Dragon Ball Z.
He wrote that shit? Are you joking?
Yeah.
This guy is a legend.
I literally started watching Dragon Ball Z this week, dude. Holy shit, man.
Hell yeah.
I was going to mention that when we were talking about the whole Yellow Panic thing and everything. My father, when he found out I was watching Dragon Ball Z, lost his shit.
Recently, like you just started watching and then he lost his shit?
No. Like when I was like 11 or 12, I went to a buddy's house and I was so stoked. I was telling him about it. And I was telling him about, I can't remember. I think it's when Raditz gets killed and Goku dies too. I was telling him about it and he looked it up and he was watching. He was like, this is so violent. This is demonic. And then he saw Piccolo. He was like, and he lost his shit, dude.
Piccolo is the Demon King, so he wasn't terribly far off.
Right. But see, Zach, this isn't just your script. See, we're kind of nerding out constantly.
Oh, dude, what's
actually? I might have been. I have to apologize. I might have been wrong here. This was. I'm looking at Rock the Dragon. Why does it list it for him in his Wikipedia?
I can hear it if it is him. You know what I mean?
It's in that vein, but
Ball Z.
It's okay.
Dragon, Rock the Dragon.
uncredited. So like here's
Let's
the thing.
go.
It's a controversial thing because Shuki Levy and Haim Saban get the credit for it. And
Which-
then,
Oh, boo!
They got
but
the
it's
credit for
like-
a lot of
yeah.
stuff they didn't write.
but then it's like you listen to the Power Rangers music and it's like, oh, this is 110% in the same vein. So yeah, like because Haim Saban's name is all over that stuff, and he absolutely did not write half of this music. So yeah, so potentially same. Ron Wasserman. You know what? In my heart, that's true. We're just gonna say it's true.
Yep,
I can
100%.
remember being at the video store and seeing the trailer for the original Dragon Ball anime.
Hell
Like,
yes.
how mystical and weird and magical it seemed. Like sitting there staring at these giant CRT TVs, just being like, that looks like the coolest fucking
Yep.
thing I've ever seen in my life. And my
Mhm.
mom literally grabbing me and dragging me away because it said something about magic and dragons. She's like, no, you can't watch that. I'm like, but look at it. He's got a tent. He's got a tent. There's a creepy old man.
That was the first manga I ever like snuck read.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, I fucking love that book so much. I tried to get my kids to read it recently. I was like, it's a good one. You guys should check it out.
Down in the bilge, Kim says that they came to surprise everybody and help with the opening of the youth shelter. But why would they be diving on shipwrecks? Because they're a bunch of fucking weirdos, man.
Yeah, that's like the most inconvenient way to go somewhere.
That's very strange. In the command center, the Rangers and Alpha are building new Zords. No quest, no ninjetti powers, no traveling to another dimension. Nope. They just say Earl Grey hot. And buddy, you got yourself a new Zord and new Ranger powers.
Did they explain why they needed new stuff? They just kind of did it.
They
and
said that nothing they had was powerful enough to fight Malagor.
Okay,
So you need cars.
And remember, from the very first episode, you don't escalate a battle. So you don't create the new Zords that you could have easily created 2 seasons ago until the very end when you need them.
Yep.
Like they have the Zord suits at this point. They couldn't have had like this thing open with like a Zord battle.
Yeah, exactly.
Give the kids what they want immediately, but show the Zords just get decimated by Divatox. And it's like,
oh,
all
hell
right.
yeah.
I mean, they've done that on the show for cheaper, where it's like, here's the Tiger Zord's arm falling off and the sparks are flying off. And it's like, those are some of the coolest parts. And
Hell yeah.
Like, and now it's a movie. And they're like, no, we don't need that. You can see half of Zio Pink's suit. And that's what you get for the first 90 minutes of this 97-minute long movie.
Listen, that boat cost a lot to rent. All right.
And just get it from the Mortal Kombat set.
Oh my god.
You would have been able to escalate and establish Divatox as a threat too, right?
Yeah.
Like we only see them as a bunch of weirdo goofballs in a submarine. We don't see that they're actually threatening bad guys and she has access to monsters. No, we just see like, oh, I gotta go get the whatever. Like, no, like give us a threat. Give us something like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You could even open it with the devastation. You wouldn't even have to show the violence. Like
Maybe
you could see charred Zords. And,
maybe that's how Rocky gets hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
There you
honestly,
go.
right? Like,
Cool.
yes, absolutely. Like he goes out in a blaze of glory, whatever. Like, hey guys, get off the Zords. Like, I'll save this thing, and it's just like, Rocky, no. And, yeah.
The Rangers are somewhat underwhelmed by the new Zords, but the Two Boy insists that they're quite powerful when combined. They're the most powerful ever Zords, dude. And I'm kind of dubious. It's like
He went to the Honda dealership. I got you all new Zords.
somebody gets a Subaru, somebody gets an Acura,
Yeah.
somebody gets a fucking
This one is a Jeep. This one is a dune buggy.
Adam gets a fucking Fiat.
To be 100% fair, the Turbo Megazord combination is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. It's a good Megazord.
This is the only from that like era. I think this might have been the only Zord that I did not get the toy of.
Really?
I wanted it so bad.
You didn't
but
have the basic Turbo Megazord?
I did not have the basic Turbo Megazord.
Huh.
I wanted it so bad for whatever reason. Mom just never bought it for me. And then I would later get like the second one. But
like the rescue Megazord or whatever.
yeah, like the one like we watched the link that Zach sent or Donovan, and with like the ads up front, and that
Oh,
one
yeah,
that is
yeah.
the Zord
Oh,
that I
yeah.
had, but the one that Zach has behind him, I never had, and I'm pretty jealous of you.
You want me to send it to you? You can have it.
Oh no, no.
I can just send it to you.
No,
Yo,
no.
it's the turbo stuff is like I think, but maybe because it was like a quote unquote lesser popular season. Like I looked up the morphers online because I was thinking like it would be cool to like have one and be like, oh, look at this. Like I ordered this for the podcast. The key alone is $150 loose.
Jesus.
Like it's insane. Yeah.
Wow.
So needless to say, that was a no go.
Well, the
Needless to
coin
say,
is cool
I
enough.
got it, guys. my wife's leaving me, but I bought the morpher.
Right.
But no, it's like, yeah, like it's just crazy. Like the turbo stuff is like out of control online. So
Yeah.
there's a bunch of little Alex out there who grew up without the turbo Zords. Now are trying to reclaim it.
So the Zords receive the Rangers receive their new Zords. To Adam goes Desert Thunder. To Kat, Wind Chaser. To Tanya, Dune Star. And to Tommy, Red Lightning. But the Blue Zord, Mountain Blaster, will stay behind due to Rocky's absence. They acquire their new turbo morphers, finally transforming 40 freaking minutes into the movie. And it's a good thing that the turbo suits look so good, or else I would have been really mad.
All the
Tommy-
Zords sound like Mountain Dew flavors.
They really do. Wind Racer. And they'll all give you similar amounts of absolute acute diabetes. Tommy is kind of a dum-dum, and he says, I've never felt anything like this before. Like, dude, you were both the Green and the White Ranger. Like, you should be able to handle the power coming. Zordon says, take your Zords across the desert to the sea, hop on a ghost ship, and the Ghost Galleon will take you to the Nemesis Triangle, and in turn to Mulanthia.
Why aren't the Zords boats?
Yeah.
Why are
But they
they not
can
water
drive
vehicles?
Well, wait a minute. Don't they turn into boats when the boat blows up?
No, they're just cars and water.
They're amphibious.
don't
They're
know,
amphibious.
guys.
They're super robot cars.
I just remember that after the boat blows up, they totally turn into speedboats. What the fuck?
And now,
There's no truth to this art.
How do they get home?
We're fighting a water-based villain this season. So we're all getting cool boats? No, you're getting cars. Several of you are getting cars that are open top.
and now, with our quest established and our goal finally in sight, we set off for the actual adventure of the movie 40 minutes in.
45 minutes into this movie.
And unfortunately, that's where we have to break for today.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's getting way too long and we're going to run for hours and hours and hours and hours, and people have stuff to do. So, Steve, Alec, thank you so much for joining us. Listeners, you will hear from them next week as we finish the rest of Power Rangers Turbo, or eventually a Power Rangers movie. If you guys want to plug your podcast real quick, let everybody know.
Sure. Or Steve and Alec from This Fire. You can find us on Instagram at This Fire Pod. Or if you want to find the links to subscribe at acquirethisfire.com. I don't know that we even really discussed what our show is. We're looking at 80s Christian pop culture, specifically Fire by Night, a show that was produced during the Satanic Panic. So it's stuff that was aimed at brainwashing teens during a terrifying era of American evangelical history. So that's our shtick.
You can find them at where?
At the acquirethisfire.com. There's links to Apple and Spotify and the whole thing there. So that's
Hell yeah.
You can find us at jesus.stole or send us an email at jesusstolermovies@gmail.com. Rate, review, leave us a comment on Spotify, leave us an angry review on Apple Podcasts, because if I think it's funny, I'll read it, especially if it's very insulting, because I love that shit. I am Z Reynolds Wrights on Instagram.
I am _DJ DMed_ on Instagram.
And we will see you next week with the conclusion of sometime there may be Power Rangers in this movie eventually. A Power Rangers movie.
And a huge thank you to Mustard Plug for letting us use their song Vampire for our intro and outro.
And as always, listen to more ska.
And don't let Jesus steal anything from you. Get that shit back.
See you.
Bye.
You're crying